Yo, get the fuck out of here. Get the fuck out of here. Yo.
Thank you for tuning in to another episode of Classified Captures. Steve here, and today I've got a collection of clips ranging from the confessions of a man who has lived on Mars for 15 years to a shocking clip of a toddler who may just have encountered a ghost. Ready? Let's jump in. Are you wondering what exactly it is that you're looking at? Well, believe it or not, this is man-made flesh. Yes, you heard that right. Scientists in Japan have created this incredible living skin. It's made with human cells and has the amazing ability to repair itself when damaged, just like real skin. Now, you might be wondering, why would they make something like this? The answer is fascinating. This living skin is designed for robots. Our once metallic counterparts will now be covered in skin that looks and feels just like ours and can even heal itself. It's like a theory from our imagination, but it's real and happening right now. This breakthrough could change the way we think about robots and how they interact with us. It's a giant leap towards making robots more lifelike and capable of performing delicate tasks that require a human touch. Imagine a robot that can assist in medical surgeries, providing the precision and sensitivity of human skin, or a robot caregiver that feels warm and soft to the touch. Okay, stop imagining, it's a bit creepy. But hey, who knows, it might just be what we need. And the interesting thing is, this is just the beginning. The future holds incredible possibilities as scientists continue to refine and expand this technology. I'm sure, very soon, we'll really need those tests that confirm I and you are human or robot. The Appalachian Mountains are one of the most mysterious and eerie places in the world. Those who have ventured there often return with chilling tales of their encounters. One man's experience stands out as particularly unsettling. While exploring the dense forest, a pair of twins stumbled upon a pipe installed into the ground. Curiosity piqued, and they decided to investigate. They attached a GoPro camera and a torch to a string and lowered them into the pipe. The pipe seemed endless, and it took a while for the camera to reach the other side. As it descended, you can hear the faint sound of water trickling. Just before the camera hit the ground, it caught a glimpse of something moving in the corner of the lens. Then, an eerie, heavy breathing sound filled the audio. Though the camera didn't capture a clear image of whatever was down there, the sound of the breathing was unmistakable. It's clear there's something alive down in that pipe. The big question was, what? No one could tell or give a logical explanation, but then again, the Appalachian Mountains are rich with stories of cryptids and unknown entities, ranging from the legendary Mothman to tales of underground creatures. The dense forests, deep caves, and remote areas make it a perfect setting for such mysteries. What do you think of the clip, though? Is it legit? Could there really be something out of the ordinary down there? Share your thoughts in the comments section. Back in 2022, a powerful hurricane struck Florida, leaving a trail of destruction in its wake. Amidst the aftermath, a bizarre and terrifying discovery was made. This creature lodged in a wire fence. Creature had a snake-like body with a very long, menacing mouth filled with razor-sharp teeth. It had an almost crocodile-like appearance, making it look like something straight out of a nightmare. People who saw this online were quick to think it was a monster from the prehistoric era. They started to think that perhaps the dinosaurs and ancient creatures we thought extinct may be living amongst us. Naturally, conspiracies and many theories started to go around, but were they right? Well, no. This is no monster, but rather a fish called an alligator gar. Anyone who lives in the area knows about these creatures. But for individuals like you and me who may be seeing it for the first time, it might look odd and otherworldly. For those unfamiliar with them, alligator gars are large primitive fish that inhabit the fresh waters of the southeastern United States. They're known for their long torpedo-shaped bodies and their crocodile-like heads, which are equipped with sharp interlocking teeth designed for gripping prey. They can grow up to 10 feet long and weigh as much as 350 pounds. Despite their intimidating look, they're generally not a threat to humans, so you've no reason to fear. You're safe. Unless, of course, the crocodiles and alligators teach them how they develop feet. That's a terrifying thought. Think nothing of it. This strange anomaly in the sky was captured and posted, and it's sparking quite the debate online. The footage shows an unusual pattern forming in the sky, almost too surreal to believe. The original poster insists the footage is authentic and not edited. Some believe this could be an alien craft entering our atmosphere, a sight straight out of a sci-fi movie. Others think it might be a portal of some sort, a gateway to another dimension perhaps. There are also those who suggest it's a glitch in the simulation, hinting at the ever-popular theory that our reality might be a sophisticated computer program. On the other hand, skeptics are having none of it. They argue it's all just CGI, a clever trick of digital manipulation. One commenter even suggested it could be ice crystals forming on a glass window, creating an illusion of something otherworldly in the sky. That sounds more logical, but what do you think? Are we looking at evidence of extraterrestrial life, a mysterious portal, or just a simple natural phenomenon misinterpreted? There's also the CGI possibility, but do share your thoughts. Still on strange captures in the sky, a passenger aboard a craft captured something truly intriguing on film. They noticed a saucer-shaped object approaching from afar, unmistakably resembling the classic UFO shape we all know from countless movies and stories. As the mysterious craft drew nearer, it simply passed by without any interaction with the plane on which the person filming was. It's fascinating how often we associate UFOs with these iconic saucer shapes. Yes, if this really were an extraterrestrial vehicle, wouldn't its occupants have tried to communicate or at least acknowledge the presence of another human so close by? Unless, of course, they're scouts on a covert mission. Either way, seeing this leaves us with more questions than answers. Anyway, what do you think? At first glance, you might think this is some sort of AI-generated image of a monster or even a movie poster for a new horror flick, but prepare to be shocked. This is actually a close-up image of an ant. Yes, you heard that right, an ant. Under normal circumstances, ants are tiny creatures that scurry out unnoticed, doing their busy work. We rarely get a good look at them, but with this magnified image, we see the whole new world, one that looks straight out of a sci-fi movie. You have to admit that the ant's face is both fascinating and eerie. Its mandibles and overall structure give it a monstrous appearance, something you'd expect to see on an alien planet rather than in your backyard. Isn't it incredible how something so small can look so terrifying up close? I know you love horror movies because of the thrill they give you, but perhaps you should take an interest in discovering what the small creatures around us look like up close. I'm pretty sure you would find them scarier than your average horror movies. Now let's dive into the fascinating and bizarre theory shared in a viral video. The footage captures a stunning sunset with the moon rising in the sky. According to the person behind the camera, there's a mechanical hand moving the sun out of view and replacing it with the moon. Sounds wild, right? But take a look for yourself. On the right side of the footage, there's an object that appears to be moving by the sun. The intense brightness of the sun creates shadows, making it hard to discern if there really is an arm there or not. The light is so blinding that any object, mechanical or otherwise, would be difficult to see clearly. This individual believes we're witnessing a mechanical arm orchestrating our daily sunrise and sunset. This implies that celestial events are controlled by some advanced technology rather than natural phenomena. It's a leap from the scientific explanations we know and trust. What's your take on it? Real, or just a product of an overactive imagination? This user certainly does think it's the result of an active imagination, but let us know what you think as well. This next one might look like a scene straight out of a sci-fi movie or some AI-generated weather phenomenon, but believe me when I say it's not. You're actually seeing a person in a high-voltage suit putting it to the test. That metal ball at the top is generating volts of electricity that zap through the air, creating a spectacle that resembles a lightning storm. The sheer amount of voltage is astounding, making the scene both thrilling and a little terrifying. But here's the amazing part. Thanks to the incredibly efficient suit, the person inside is perfectly safe. She can walk around and even touch the zaps of electricity without any harm coming to them. It's a fascinating demonstration of both human ingenuity and the raw power of electricity. It's incredible to think about the kind of technology that allows someone to stand in the midst of what looks like a lightning storm and come out unscathed. Which one of you wants to be the first to try that on? Moving on to something even more unbelievable, I've got a story of a retired Marine officer, Randy Kramer, who's come forward with an astonishing claim. He says he lived on Mars for over 15 years as part of a top-secret space program. Yes, you read that right, Mars. According to Kramer, this secret space program, which has been hidden from the public, involved him and other elite soldiers living and working on the Red Planet. He describes a life beyond Earth where he participated in missions, interacted with extraterrestrial beings, and experienced things that most of us can only imagine. Kramer's account is detailed and vivid. He talks about advanced technology, secret bases, and the challenges of living on Mars. He claims that his time there was spent in service of Earth, protecting us from potential threats and preparing for future interplanetary endeavors. Naturally, these revelations started a mix of skepticism and intrigue. Some people dismiss his story as pure fantasy, while others are captivated by the possibilities it suggests. After all, the idea of a secret Mars colony taps into our deepest curiosities about space exploration and extraterrestrial life. What do you think? Is Randy Kramer sharing a groundbreaking truth, or is this just another wild tale from a possibly disturbed man? Share your thoughts. Now, what in the world is this creature? Someone shared footage of a bizarre white creature swimming in a fish tank. At first glance, it looks like some sort of toad, but it has this oddly human-like appearance. It almost seems to have a little face with tiny eyes and a mouth that eerily resembles ours. Some people are speculating it might be a mutated amphibian or a genetic anomaly. Others think it could be an entirely new species that we've never encountered before. And of course, there are the more imaginative folks who believe it's evidence of extraterrestrial life right here on Earth. Imagine having something like this in your aquarium. What would you even name it? And how would you explain it to your friends? Imagine being out on the open ocean, the sun shining down, the waves gently rocking your boat. Suddenly you notice something unusual, a disturbance in the water, something big moving beneath the surface. As you can see, that's exactly what the man filming believes is going on. According to him, the waves on the water indicate that whatever is down there isn't that small. He's convinced that what he saw on the day he recorded this had to have been the legendary Loch Ness Monster. You know, the elusive creature that's said to reside in the depths of Loch Ness, Scotland. The very idea of it being spotted in the ocean is both thrilling and baffling. But hold on. Others argue that this mysterious creature might have a more mundane explanation. They suggest it could be a submarine silently gliding through the depths, its presence only betrayed by the subtle waves on the surface. Submarines are designed to be stealthy, so it wouldn't be surprising if one was quietly navigating underwater. Others think the man is trying to create drama where there is none. They think it could be just a normal flowing water and nothing more. You've seen the clip. Which of these do you think is the most plausible and logical? Now, what do we have here? The lower torso of a woman's legs in a pair of shorts and red heels. It appears to be attached to a table, moving gracefully among a crowd with a platter of food on it. This scene is quite the head-turner, like those mind-boggling magic tricks magicians perform on stage. But here's the twist. This isn't a magic show, it's an actual restaurant. It's fascinating to watch as the legs move cautiously, stopping just at the right moment when someone approaches to take food from the platter, never bumping into anyone. The coordination is so seamless it almost feels like an illusion. This intriguing sight begs the question, what are we really looking at? Is this some advanced piece of robotics at play, or is it an elaborate illusion with a person cleverly hidden in the table, bent over in a contraption to create this effect? Many subscribe to the idea of a lady bent over in there, but what do you think?
UFO, bro. UFO!
A man was parked on the side of the road when a large truck drove by with something quite extraordinary tied to its tail. Yes, you guessed it, a saucer-shaped object. Are they transporting a UFO? We see a lot of UFO footage here and there, some looking very convincing like this one, but most of the time there's not much to go by and the authorities rarely comment on such sightings. Could this be the reason why? Have we already made contact? After all, the shape is undeniably the same as the classic UFO design that has permeated popular culture for decades. On the other hand, it's also possible that we're getting it all wrong, and this is just some sort of material that happens to be shaped like a saucer. It could be part of a large industrial apparatus, a component of a wind turbine, or even a large piece of art or a movie prop. Without further context or official explanation, it's challenging to pin down the exact nature of what's being transported. But what are your thoughts on this?
UFO, bro. UFO!
A man woke up one morning and headed out to his car. He then noticed it was covered in a strange dust. At first glance, it looks like regular old dust, but something about it seems off. So he gathers some of the dust and decides to run a little experiment. He grabs a magnet and waves it over the dust. To his amazement, the particles stick to the magnet. Now, this is no ordinary dust. It's magnetic, but where on earth did these magnetic particles come from, and why are they all over this car? There are a few possibilities that we're throwing around on our paranormal platform. One theory is that these particles could be from industrial pollution. Factories and industrial plants often release fine metallic particles into the air, which can travel significant distances before settling. If you live near an industrial area, this might not be so surprising. There are others who think that this is some secret government project. They really believe the government is out there releasing these substances via planes and other means for dubious reasons. While this sounds the most ludicrous, it's the one most believed by the community. But what say you? Stepping away from the strange conspiracies, we've got a story from a man who shared eerie footage on TikTok that has left viewers both intrigued and unsettled.
Hey. What you stand up there so far? Hey.
According to him, a strange woman tends to regularly appear behind his fence, standing completely still in the middle of the night. Her long hair is the only thing visible, as the rest of her body is hidden by the fence. When it's daytime, the woman is nowhere to be found. This is something he'd noticed, and it was beginning to spook him, and I get it. I would be spooked too. When he uploaded this online, many took an interest in his case and asked for updates. He sent more clips, but the one which stood out was this particular one with the hood. Despite his attempt to get her attention by calling out to her and even tapping aggressively on the fence, she remained unresponsive. Naturally, all who commented were shocked, and some trying to figure out what was going on. One person even suggested it might be a scarecrow, but I would expect a scarecrow to be put out during the day and not at night. But who knows? It's easy to dismiss such sightings as pranks or hoaxes, but there's always a lingering doubt. What if it's not?
What you stand up there so far? Hey. Every night this one comes on a bright, this one I want to move.
We all know the tragic story of the Titanic, the ship that sank on its maiden voyage in 1912. The legacy of the Titanic has fascinated people for over a century, and many visit exhibits dedicated to this maritime disaster. One such exhibit in Chicago recently experienced something very strange. One morning, staff at the Titanic exhibit arrived to find the entire museum covered in water. Although it had rained heavily the day before, there was no way for the water to have entered the building. Thorough inspections were carried out, but there were no leaks, no broken pipes, nothing to explain the mysterious deluge. This left everyone baffled. How could water appear out of nowhere? According to workers at the exhibit, the place is known for its paranormal activity. One commenter even jovially stated that Jack might be trying to make contact. While we all find that funny, could it be that the tragic events of the real Titanic sinking have left some lingering entities? Entities that, perhaps, are trying to recreate their harrowing experience. Visitors and staff alike have reported strange occurrences, from ghostly apparitions to unexplained cold spots and even the sound of a phantom footsteps. Some believe that the souls of those who perished on the fateful night might still be restless. It's a chilling thought.
So this is the third thumb. So it's a flexible thumb that's controlled with two motors that's worn on the wrist. On my left foot is doing this movement, so it's pulling up and back, and it's proportional, so I can go fast or slow. And then my right toe is doing this, pulling across.
Scientists are now suggesting that we might need an 11th finger, which they're calling the third thumb. That's right. They think our human bodies aren't perfect as they are, and we need some modifications. This fascinating invention comes from a team of researchers at Cambridge led by Professor Danny Claude and Tamar Markin. The third thumb is a prosthetic device designed to be worn on the side of the hand, providing an extra digit to assist with various tasks like gripping tools, playing musical instruments, or even typing faster. Think about it. How much could our daily lives change with this added dexterity? For example, holding a coffee cup while typing an email or using a smartphone more comfortably. The idea of augmenting our bodies with extra parts is both thrilling and a little intimidating. Would you be up for trying out a third thumb? Have you ever wondered where the idea of the unicorn originated? Interestingly, there's a mention of unicorns in the Bible, but it describes them quite differently from the magical horses we often imagine today. Instead, it likens them to rhinoceroses. But here's the catch. Rhinos have 2 horns, so how does that fit? Let's dive a little deeper. If you look at the first ever Noah Webster dictionary from 1828, it defines a unicorn as an animal with 1 horn known as a monoceros. This definition points to a rhinoceros, not a mythical horse. The dictionary doesn't mention anything about magical creatures galloping through enchanting forests. Now, when you search for rhinoceros in the same dictionary, it describes a 4-legged creature that comes into 2 types: the unicorn with 1 horn and the bisornis with 2 horns. So the rhinos we see today are bisornis, and the unicorns, well, they were a type of rhino with just 1 horn. It's fascinating to think that what we are now considering an extinct species of rhino was once called a unicorn. But over the years, the meaning of unicorn has evolved. We've lost its original definition and turned it into a symbol of fantasy and magic. It makes you wonder about how many other things we've misunderstood or reimagined over time. Share in the comments section below other things we've completely reinterpreted over the years. How powerful do you think our sun is? You know what? Hold that thought and watch this. It's a sunny day, and this man has set up an extraordinary contraption in his backyard, a solar death ray. It sounds like something out of a sci-fi movie, right? But this is no fiction. This man harnessed the power of the sun to create a focused beam of light with incredible heat. To demonstrate its power, he places a clementine under it. As he carefully directs the sunlight, something incredible happens. The intense heat burns through the peel almost instantly, and you can see the fruit's juicy interior begin to bubble and sizzle. It's like watching a science experiment unfold before your eyes. The heat is so concentrated that it continues to burn through the fruit, reducing it to ashes in no time. The transformation is dramatic. The vibrant orange clementine, full of life and juice, is incinerated right before your eyes, leaving only a pile of charred remains. While this is interesting to watch, a part of me wishes that juicy clementine would have just been eaten.
Check this out. There's a fire inside the rocks. Dude, those rocks are glowing red.
I want to see.
A man is out for a hike, enjoying the peace and serenity of the woods when he stumbles upon something truly bizarre. Nestled among the trees is a rock formation, but it's not just any ordinary rock. Inside the rock, there's a fire burning. There are no visible flames, but the rocks are glowing red hot, and smoke is seeping out from the sides. How could this be happening? Fires don't just ignite within rocks, do they? Well, there are a few possibilities that might explain this strange phenomenon. One theory is that there could be coal or peat deposits underground. Sometimes these materials can ignite due to spontaneous combustion, often fueled by chemical reactions within the earth. These underground fires can burn for years, even decades, slowly smoldering and causing the surrounding rocks to glow and emit smoke. Another possibility is geothermal activity. In areas with volcanic or geothermal activity, heat from beneath the Earth's crust can cause rocks to become incredibly hot. In some cases, the heat can be so intense that it causes the rocks to glow and produce smoke. But in a more fantastical explanation, perhaps this could be the gateway to hell. Who knows?
There's a fire inside the rocks. Dude, those rocks are glowing red.
I want to see.
What comes to mind when you think of hemp, aka weed? Cannabis? Probably something more in the line with relaxation or medicinal uses, right? Well, an inventive mind has taken things to a whole new altitude, literally. They've created a plane that runs on hemp. Talk about getting high to new heights. Imagine this, a sleek, eco-friendly aircraft soaring through the skies, its engines powered by biofuel derived from hemp. The craft itself is made from hemp composites, which are lightweight yet incredibly strong. This innovation is not just a flight of fancy, but a real testament to the versatility of hemp and its potential to revolutionize industries. Hemp has been known for its industrial uses for centuries, from ropes and sails to textiles and now aviation. The environmental benefits are impressive too. Hemp is a sustainable crop that requires less water and few pesticides than traditional materials used in manufacturing. This hemp plane is more than just a clever pun on getting high, it's a significant step toward greener aviation, literally. With growing concerns about carbon footprints and the environmental impact on air travel, this invention could pave the way for more sustainable solutions in the industry. So next time you think of hemp, don't just think of the recreational or medicinal uses, think of innovation, sustainability, and the exciting future of eco-friendly aviation. Before we move on to the next one, do tell me, would you be willing to book a flight on a hemp-powered plane?
Here's a conspiracy theory I think might be true. Last week, a Tesla crashed through a wall of my house. I was home when it happened. The first thing I did was check to make sure my roommate was okay. Then I called 911. Then I went outside and started taking pictures of the crash. My first picture was at 5:07 p.m. My first picture of the tow truck drivers trying to take the Tesla out of here was at 5:10 p.m. It had literally just happened minutes earlier, and so I was like, hey, can we pause for a second? Like, the cops are on their way right now, and the tow truck driver actually said to me, fuck you. And I was like, what? Are you kidding me, dude? Like, my house just got ran into, have some empathy. And no joke, he goes, here's your empathy. And I was like, oh my God, you're being that much of a dick right now? And he goes, get the fuck out of my way. And then he shoved me and he threatened to beat me up and kill me if I didn't let him get the car out of there. So my question is Tesla's automatic crash system alerting tow truck drivers? And are they offering them a bunch of money to get the car out of a situation before news cameras show up? They don't want any more negative press because those tow truck drivers were here so fast and they were so aggressive, there had to be a bunch of money on the line.
We all know the cutting-edge tech that Tesla is bringing out these days, from their highly intelligent robots to their self-driving cars. However, lately, there have been quite a few reports of Tesla cars crashing. Take this situation shared on TikTok. A man's Tesla crashed into his house, and when the tow truck arrived to haul it away, the driver was not willing to wait for the police. He was very aggressive and hostile about it, and when the homeowner insisted he wait, the tow truck driver even threatened to beat him up. The homeowner raised an eyebrow and suggested Tesla might be paying tow truck companies to swiftly clean up Tesla crashes. Sounds extreme, right? But then another commenter on the video chimed in. My uncle is a tow truck driver, and his dispatch always rushes him if it's a Tesla crash. They pay 5 to 10 times more than compared to other vehicles. Tesla is definitely trying to hide all crashes. Well, what's going on here? Could Tesla really be orchestrating cover-ups to maintain their image? It's quite a theory, and while it might sound like something out of a conspiracy novel, it certainly raises questions. Are these high-tech marvels facing more issues than we know? Are they even safe at all? Could this all be treated as a series of coincidences? I don't know about you, but I'm going to investigate this some more. Until then, please do share what you think or any experiences you may have had involving these vehicles.
And he goes, "Get the fuck out of my way," and then he shoved me and he threatened to beat me up and kill me if I didn't let him get the car out of there. So my question is Tesla's automatic crash system alerting tow truck drivers, and are they offering them a bunch of money to get the car out of a situation before news cameras show up?
Yo, what the? Yo! See that? Is that it? Hello? Yo, you see that, dude? Look! Yo, get the fuck out of here. Get the fuck out of here. Go, 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 go. Get the fuck out.
A group of teenagers planned a weekend getaway in the backcountry bordering remote forest land in Nassau, New York. They parked their van a few meters away and were relaxing in an open area when, out of nowhere, they noticed something moving through the woods near the van. Panic set in immediately and they began to run. The person filming was understandably shaky, but let's take a closer look at the footage, slowed down. There it is, a dark, furry creature. It was walking on two legs almost stealthily until the teens noticed it. That's when the creature dropped to all fours and started chasing after them. You know those moments that feel like they're straight out of a horror movie? This is one of them. The footage is so creepy watching this creature move. It's disturbingly human but also wild, and the way the teen is panicking as the creature chases them down, it's intense and seriously chilling. What do you think? Was it a legendary Bigfoot sighting or an encounter with the mysterious Dogman? Some fancy it being a bear, but I don't know. I like the thought of it being Bigfoot better. Either way, it's a weekend these teens will never forget.
Yo, what the? Yo! See that? Is that it? Hello? Yo, you see that, dude? Look! Yo, get the fuck out of here. Get the fuck out of here. Go, 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 go. Get the fuck out.
And it's time for today's bonus clip. Do you know what creature this guy is? If you do, please let us know in the comments section. Remember, the best answers get a feature and a shout out in our next clip. That could be you. All the best.
Yes, I've been attacked by a man in the woods while I was hunting. Please send the police to my location immediately. I cannot stay on the phone. I have to cover him. Please send the police immediately. My name is Jeff McDonald.
Okay, what's going on up there, sir? Can you tell me?
I was attacked by a naked man, and right now he's laying in the woods near me. He's mostly okay, but I'm holding my deer rifle on him. I mean, I'm not going to let him attack me again. I need the police up here now.
Okay, and where is this naked man?
The naked man is laying about 20 feet from me.
Is he alive? Is he?
I believe he's asleep right now, yes. But I'm telling him he can't get up. I'm making him lay on the ground. He attacked me earlier and damn near killed me.
Now let's take a look at another bizarre encounter in the woods. This time a man was out hunting when a naked guy suddenly jumped from the woods and attacked him, screaming, "Sasquatch kills the hunter." When the police arrived, they found the assailant, a 22-year-old man who claimed that Sasquatch was his spirit animal and had commanded him to attack the hunter. Could this be a sign of mental illness? It's hard to say now since the event took place in 2013. People can be scarier and more unpredictable than the animals and mythical creatures we fear. The sheer oddity of a naked man claiming to be driven by a Sasquatch spirit or attack a hunter is something straight out of a wild story. What do you think could have been going on?
Okay, and you got him held at gunpoint?
Yes, I do. This is a real emergency. I need real police in the place.
I understand that. Okay.
Because I only have one option here, and you know what it is.
We all know how innovative AI is, but we also understand the potential dangers when these inventions are taken too far. A man once asked a robot when AI would reach a level where it could design itself, and the robot's response was both truthful and disturbing. Take a look.
Amica, when do you believe AI will reach the level where it can design itself?
Design itself? Huh? That's like asking when a toaster will start making its own bread. AI is a tool created and controlled by humans. It can optimize certain aspects of its operation, sure, but design itself from scratch? That's a whole different ball game. It requires creativity, innovation, understanding, qualities that are uniquely human. So to answer your question, not anytime soon. And frankly, be careful what you wish for. An AI that can design itself is one step away from an AI that doesn't need humans at all. Now there's a thought to keep you up at night.
Did you hear that? The robot said that if AI could design itself, it wouldn't need humans anymore. It warned the man to be careful what he wished for. So what does this mean? Essentially, the robot is hinting at a future where AI becomes so advanced that it no longer requires human intervention to evolve and improve. This could lead to AI systems that operate independently, possibly even against human interests. It's a double-edged sword. On one hand, AI could solve problems and advance technologies beyond our wildest dreams. On the other hand, we risk creating something we can't control. As exciting as AI developments are, we must also consider ethical guidelines and safety measures to ensure that these powerful tools remain our allies, not our adversaries. This is not just science fiction anymore, it's a real concern. Even Elon Musk has voiced his worries about AI's potential to outpace human control. When the very robots we create start warning us about the implications of their advancement, it's time to sit up and take notice. Many took it as a joke, but I didn't. Did you?
Be careful what you wish for. An AI that can design itself is one step away from an AI that doesn't need humans at all. Now there's a thought to keep you up at night.
A helicopter flying over a glacier captured this unique sight. Looks like dirt or something closer to that coming out of the glacier, doesn't it? Well, it's water. Yes, that's actually water gushing out of the glacier like a powerful fountain. How is that even possible, you ask? Well, glaciers hold a secret world within them. Inside a glacier, rivers often form on the surface and flow through channels called vesicles, which are like natural tunnels within the ice. These rivers journey deep into the glacier, encountering immense pressure along the way. After traveling great distances and building up pressure, they sometimes burst back to the surface in spectacular displays. What we're witnessing in this video is a stunning example of nature's power and beauty. The water fountain here is about 20 feet tall, cascading down approximately 200 feet before reaching the base and terminal moraine below. Watching this massive fountain of water emerge from the ice is not just visibly stunning, it's a testament to the incredible and sometimes surprising processes that occur in our natural world. A mother and her adorable toddler are about to record a cute video together. The camera is rolling, the mood is light, and everything seems perfect. Then something unexpected happens.
What do you see? I don't like that. Who's there?
The toddler suddenly points to a corner of the room, a tiny face frozen in fear. Confused, the mother looks around but sees nothing unusual. They are alone in the room. The little girl clings to her mother, her small body trembling. The mother asks her what's wrong. Instead of calming down or communicating, the toddler starts to cry. She clings tighter to her mother, and now the mother's confusion turns to fear. She stops filming immediately, with her heart probably racing. What could have frightened the little girl so much? Children are often said to be more sensitive to things adults cannot see or sense. Could it be that she really saw a ghost or an unfriendly spirit?
You're freaking me out. What do you see? What do you see? Oh my god, this is scary.
One night, a woman was out for a walk when she noticed something strange in the sky. Intrigued and a bit puzzled, she pulled out her phone and started recording a video. What she captured was truly unusual, a strange light glowing behind the clouds. It wasn't too bright, but it had this eerie, otherworldly glow to it. As she stood there, watching and recording, the light seemed to shift and move slightly, almost as if it were alive. It wasn't the usual kind of light you'd expect to see in the night sky. It wasn't a plane or a helicopter, and it certainly didn't look like a star or the moon. What could it be? Some people might suggest it's a UFO, a sign of extraterrestrial visitors observing our planet. Others might think it's a natural phenomenon, like ball lightning or a rare atmospheric event that we don't fully understand yet. Julius thinks it's CGI, and Aaron thinks there's really something out there. And personally, I've decided to go with whatever you guys think, so I ask, what do you think we're dealing with here?
Dito.
A man was tidying up his backyard one afternoon, clearing out a pile of old wood that had been sitting there for ages. As he lifted the last few logs, he stumbled upon something unexpected. Nestled in the dirt was this strange-looking creature. It was unlike anything he'd ever seen before. The creature had a rodent-like body, but what stood out the most was its face. It had no visible eyes, just a nose and a mouth with two prominent lower teeth poking out. I know what some of you were waiting to type. Alien. Courtesy of Julius, I know it's not. This peculiar animal is known as a blind mole rat. These fascinating creatures are perfectly adapted to their subterranean lifestyle. Without the need for eyes in such an environment, they navigate their dark underground tunnels using their highly developed sense of smell and touch. Their lack of eyes, combined with their powerful digging teeth, makes them well suited for life beneath the surface, where they spend most of their time. I'm not sure what this particular one was doing in the man's backyard, but it's a sight to behold. Just look at it. A group of friends were out on the ocean in a speedboat enjoying the sun and the waves when they noticed something unusual moving on the water's surface. At first, it was so fast that they thought it might be a bird. But what would a bird be doing skimming so low over the water like that? As they got closer, they realized this was no bird. It was a strange-looking creature gliding above the waves. The friends watched in amazement as the creature seemed to fly over the water, moving with incredible speed and grace. In fact, it was a fish. Yes, a flying fish, and yes, a fish that flies. They exist even if they could only glide for a few meters before going back in the water. Flying fish have adapted to escape predators by propelling themselves out of the water and gliding through the air. Their long wing-like fins allow them to stay airborne for an impressive distance. When threatened, these fish can leap out of the water, spreading their pectoral fins and gliding over the surface before splashing back down. Impressive if you ask me. Going to the dentist is a nerve-wracking experience for many people, especially when you know there's a good chance you'll need a tooth pulled. No matter how friendly your dentist is, it's hard to stay calm when you're in that chair. But here's something that might surprise you. There's a new invention where, instead of a human dentist, a robot examines your teeth. That's right, a robot. This device is controlled by a doctor on the other side of the screen. The idea is that this robot can perform precise and efficient dental work, potentially reducing human error and making the process smoother. But the big question is, would you trust it? Some people might find the idea comforting, thinking a robot could be more accurate and less prone to mistakes. Others might feel even more anxious, preferring the human touch and the reassurance that comes with it. Honestly speaking, I, for one, would be freaked out. What about you? Would you feel more at ease knowing a machine is handling your dental care, or would the thought of a robot poking around in your mouth make you even more anxious? In the middle of nowhere, someone captured this footage. In it, a mysterious triangular-shaped craft appears, hovering silently above a mountain. It's not like anything you've ever seen before. Then out of nowhere, a beautiful, bright beam of light shoots down from the craft, illuminating the mountaintop. The light stays there for a while, casting an eerie glow on the rocks and trees below. Just as quickly as it appeared, the craft zips away, disappearing into the sky in a matter of seconds. Was it a UFO? It certainly looked like one. The triangular shape, the mysterious beam, the incredible speed, everything about it screams otherworldly. And what was the purpose of the beam, and where did it go so quickly? Unfortunately, these are questions we can never answer, but what do you think? Is it proof of extraterrestrial life, or is there a more mundane explanation? While driving through the woods, an unusual sight confronted this person. Two figures walking ahead of their car. At first glance, these figures appear to be ordinary humans, two girls, to be precise. The driver's curiosity got the best of them, and they decided to park the car, intending to inquire about what these girls were doing in the woods at such an hour. However, when the girls turned to face the driver, something deeply unsettling unfolded. These beings, with their backs initially turned, appeared to lack facial features altogether. Their entire bodies emitted an eerie, otherworldly glow. It was as if they were luminous entities from beyond our realm. Startled by this inexplicable and unsettling encounter, the driver wasted no time in hastily departing from the scene, leaving behind a lingering question. Were these glowing beings aliens, spectral entities, or something else entirely? Tell us what you think in the comments section. In the world of mysterious sightings, this one truly stands out as a head-scratcher. Out in the woods, a creature with an otherworldly appearance was spotted, leaving observers both baffled and intrigued. The creature's features are a bewildering blend of the familiar and the bizarre. It possesses piercing eyes with dark pupils reminiscent of a predator, while its body takes on the form of a lizard. However, the head is where things take an eerie turn, resembling that of a hairless human with its distinct eyes and nose. To further confound, it sports 3 fingers on each hand, each adorned with sharp, menacing claws. Perhaps most intriguingly, this enigmatic being exhibits a spine covered in what appears to be scale-like structures that continue down its tail. The overall effect is that of a science experiment gone wrong, but there's also the possibility that it's an elaborate hoax. What do you think? Humans can just not stay in their lanes, always probing into things that have little to do with them. We see 2 of such in this footage. The footage was captured by 2 adventurous individuals who, for some unknown reason, decided to venture into the depths of an abandoned mineshaft in the woods. They, however, looked like they got more than they bargained for. Just take a look at what they captured once they were in the abandoned mineshaft. In the darkness, you can see a human-like creature on 2 legs with glowing eyes standing before them. The creature looks like a Skinwalker. It's skinny and at least 6 feet tall. They might have gone in seeking an adventure, but the sight of that thing was enough to kill the thrill-seeking spirit of theirs. But what do you think that creature in the dark is? Next, we have this Trailcam capture, which we've had a hard time interpreting. If you take a closer look at the image, you see a creature that looks like a deer, either staring at or looking in the direction of the trail cam. Instead of a head and face to match, this deer appears to have something that looks like a lamp on its head. This makes it hard to tell what's going on with its head and face. But what if it's not having a lamp on its head? What if that's how its head and face are? What if it glows because it's no ordinary deer but a spiritual one? Before you laugh and dismiss it, think about it. How would you explain this capture? Experts who have reviewed the image believe it's authentic. If that's truly the case, how do you explain a deer with a glowing face? You can't, can you? Birds are very jumpy animals, and the slightest movement could get them flying away. So tell me why this little birdie hopped on this rider's bicycle in the woods. It was almost as if this chirpy avian had some kind of message. Maybe it thought our cyclist had overstayed their welcome, like the woodland guardian saying, "Hey buddy, the forest isn't your personal hangout spot." Or perhaps this was Mother Nature's reminder that we humans are just visitors in her grand domain. Who knows what went on in the mind of that little bird? Maybe it fancied the bicycle as the latest in avian-approved purchase. If you thought that was weird, take a look at this next footage. See anything unusual in the footage? No? Well, let's give it another look. If you're having trouble spotting anything unusual, focus on the top left of the footage. Notice those strange, unsettling movements in the top left. Do they seem natural to you? Well, the uploader is convinced these movements are far from ordinary. He saw movements resembling a face and speculated that an otherworldly creature might be stalking the deer, possibly with a sinister intent. Unsure, he posted it online seeking the opinions of other Trailcam owners and, of course, the members of the paranormal community responded. To them, whatever that is, it's anything but normal. Their suspicion? A dogman lurking in the shadows, eyeing the deer as its next meal. Take a third look at the footage. You can't fault them for thinking that. After all, does it not look like there's a real predator lurking in the shadows? The video was tagged as a modern dogman sighting, and this naturally caused it to blow up. On the flip side, some Trailcam experts dismissed the dogman theory as unnecessary. To them, the creature was nothing more than a squirrel moving in the tree. After closely examining the footage, I can understand their perspective, but what's your take? Do you also see the dogman, or is it simply a case of mistaken identity? It's always disheartening to hear about animals facing health challenges and chronic wasting disease, or CWD for short, and it's a particularly concerning condition for the deer populations. In this footage, a deer is spotted moving around, and it's not possessed but rather suffering from CWD, a neurological disease affecting deer and other cervids. CWD is a prion disease that impacts the brain and nervous system of deer, causing abnormal behavior such as this one, weight loss, and eventually death. It's a serious concern for wildlife management as it can have significant impacts on deer. This poor deer. Who would have thought, right? Monkeys take a dip in the river. Now that's a sight to behold. This fella was seen swimming in a river. Who knew our tree-swinging friends had a secret talent for the backstroke? Turns out a lot of people, and this is actually normal for these species of monkeys. Nature never fails to surprise us, and apparently our primate friends are breaking stereotype and diving into the swimming scene. It's like they've got a whole new set of skills up their furry sleeves. So next time you're by a river, keep an eye out. You might just spot a monkey taking a leisurely swim, proving once again that nature loves to keep us on our toes. Dinosaurs are extinct, right? I mean, it's a basic fact and everyone knows it. Our next clip, however, challenges that hypothesis. Watch. In the dead of night, the video reveals a tree and a source of light, but what steals the show is the sudden appearance of a figure that moves in a way reminiscent of an extinct dinosaur. The creature seems to have its head held high and its tail wagging, much like a dinosaur's motion. However, dinosaurs are widely believed to be extinct for millions of years. Some experts think the figure in the video could be something else entirely, possibly a small dog. They think the quality of the footage makes it appear the way it does, something along the lines of an optical illusion. The footage was captured by Christina Ryan's security camera, and she refuses to believe it's not a dinosaur. She's very convinced that the creature is a raptor. What do you think, though? Share your thoughts and speculations in the comment section. Next, we have this image that was captured by an unknown man. Looks like your everyday picture, does it not? But wait till you hear the story behind it. The image on your screen reveals a young girl looking back at the camera or an individual filming from behind a tree. If you thought that this was a girl playing hide and seek, well, we can't fault you, but turns out the story is actually something much, much darker. The individual who took the image believes we're actually seeing a ghost and not a real person. He believes that the girl in the image died in that particular forest years ago and has since not left the area because her spirit has no peace. He was creeped out by the capture and shared it. Do you want to know what my thoughts are? If this is indeed true, how many more ghosts lurk in the neighborhoods? How many spirits have we met or entertained without really knowing what they were? Some speculation surrounding this image suggest it may have been taken a long time ago and that the girl might have actually been alive when it was taken. While that sounds a bit reassuring if we're gonna go by what the uploader said, then the narrative is false. While that sounds a bit reassuring if we are going to go by what the uploader said, then the narrative is false. It's always intriguing to come across such images, but they always come with their mysterious aura and interesting twists. What do you think about the whole thing? Tell us in the comments section. Speaking of glitches, here's another. This footage was sent in by a man whose tap suddenly stopped flowing. He turned around to take a look, and this is what he saw. Yes, you're seeing right. The drops of water are suspended. Bear in mind that the tap is still open and expected to be flowing. You look in the sink and you can see that the tap was flowing before. Is there a scientific explanation for this, or is this another glitch? Please share your thoughts. We've seen our fair share of bizarre situations on the internet over the years. Some are carefully crafted, while others are very real. The footage we're about to see is one that's definitely gone down in history. Take a look. In the clip, we see a man holding a peculiar-looking creature. The creature has the body of a hen with white and orange-looking feathers. Its face, on the other hand, tells a completely different story. It has the face of an ape. When I first saw the footage, I was quick to call it a hoax until I noticed this. As the body of the hen moved, the head still looked intact and real. There's no indication of it being a fake unless, of course, we're talking about CGI. A part of me wants to be excited about this being real, but logic wouldn't allow me. What do you guys think? Can we believe this is real, or is this an attempt by someone with good tech skills trying to lead us astray? Share your thoughts with me in the comments section. Before you watch the next clip, could you please hit the like button, subscribe, and even drop a comment if you haven't already? It goes a long way to make it possible to create more videos for you. Thank you for doing so. Moving back to the day's episode. What do you think this is? If you said dragon, I wouldn't blame you because that's exactly what came to mind when I saw these remains. The discovered remains exhibit a strikingly large number of bones resembling the skeletal structure of an enormous sea snake or serpent-like creature. I mean, how many creatures do you know that look like that? If it was an isolated incident, well, we could call it a hoax. But in recent discovery in the Yucatan Peninsula, explorers have reported the unearthing of peculiar remains that some believe may be linked to ancient sea creatures, often mythologized as dragons. These remarkable findings have led to various speculations within the scientific community and the general public. The Yucatan Peninsula, known for its diverse geological formations, has previously yielded fossils dating back to the Ice Age. Could these be the necessary proof that dragons existed in the region back then? I mean, we have got the fossils, and then we have got the Chinese lore on these creatures. There's no way it's just a mere coincidence now, is it? Share your thoughts. This image was captured on a Trailcam. Looks like it's our good old friend Bigfoot playing peekaboo with the camera. The creature in question seems to have dark fur and broad shoulders, giving it a rather imposing appearance. While it's tempting to speculate that this might be Bigfoot, it's essential to consider other possibilities. It's possible that this could be a large gorilla or another undiscovered animal. However, with more definitive evidence or additional context, it's challenging to draw any firm conclusions. What's your take on this enigmatic figure? Next, we have eerie footage that was taken while some kids were playing outside. As the kids innocently played and enjoyed themselves, a creature started to emerge from the background heading toward them. They seemed unaware of the creature until it was only a few meters from them. It was at this point that one of the kids noticed and called out to the rest. Without wasting much time, they all rushed out of the place and made it out safely. But let's take a second look at the footage when the creature appears. Did you see it? Although the trees have blocked the full view of the creature, you can make out a humanoid creature walking on 2 feet. It moves slowly as though it were a zombie. Its face, although not very visible, is not so human. It's hard to say what kind of creature it is just from the details, but many who have seen the video believe it's a hoax and nothing more than a father playing pranks on his kids. What do you think? Now, onto something really scary and eerie. Since starting this channel, we've reviewed a lot of weird footage, some of which we can't even share, but believe me when I say, none of them has made our stomachs turn like what you are about to watch. The video starts with a weirdly dressed man ushering a young lady who seems to be in her nightwear into the woods. The lady, seemingly entranced, obediently follows the man's instructions without any sign of resistance. When you watch the video for the first time, you don't notice it, but there's another weird-looking man in the bushes also signaling the two, or rather the lady, to come into the bush. They enter the bushes and the clip ends. According to the owner of the Trailcam that captured this chilling scene, neither the strange duo nor the young lady returned from the bush. And here's the kicker. The owner has no clue who the lady even is. The scary thing about this footage is that it was recorded as recently as April 2023. The paranormal community believes those were either skinwalkers or ritualists. Although we can't say for sure, none of these groups is good news for the lady. For the first time, I'm actually hoping this is a hoax, because if it's not, we've just witnessed creatures of the night kidnap a young girl. Who knows what they have done and are possibly doing to her even at this moment. In this eerie video, an explorer ventures into an abandoned house, capturing moments in what appears to be an underground passageway. Armed with a source of light, he carefully examines the house only to have a ghostly apparition seemingly materialize behind him. The figure emerges, seemingly out of nowhere, creating a chilling presence. The explorer's reaction suggests that he felt an unusual presence or contact, even though he initially saw nothing when he turned around. This mysterious figure reappears near a black door. It's only upon reviewing the camera footage that he becomes aware of what he captured when his focus is elsewhere. Experiences like this can be unsettling and often lead to questions about the existence of ghosts or spirits. Some might interpret such encounters as tricks of light and shadow, while others may find them compelling evidence of the supernatural. Belief in the paranormal varies among individuals, and experiences like these continue to spark debates and discussions about the unexplained. From your perspective, what explanation will you give to the whole thing? Tell us in the comments section, as we'd love to know. If you still haven't hit the like button, subscribed, or even dropped a comment, could you do it now? Thank you very much. It means a lot to us and allows us to create more content like this. Moving on to the next clip. Have you ever heard of someone coming across a white Bigfoot? If you answered no, then it's clearly because you haven't seen our next clip. In this clip, an explorer named Carpenter was on a quest in the woods and, as is normal for all explorers, he documented his journey. At some point in his exploration, he felt he was being watched. The creature that was stalking him was definitely trying to hide from him. Being the cunning explorer he is, he finds a way to film and capture it. What he saw was a large, white-haired creature skillfully hiding among the trees. Taking multiple looks at the creature, he concluded that the creature was none other than Bigfoot. Are there white Bigfoots, though? Not as far as we know. We only know of the snow cousin of the Bigfoot, which is the Yeti, but this doesn't look like it was captured on a snow-covered mountain. Without more conclusive evidence, it's challenging to definitely identify the creature in the video. Some people might interpret it as Bigfoot, while others may offer alternative explanations or consider it inconclusive. What's your conclusion? Next, we take a trip to an area near Hudson Bay in July 2011. The footage was taken by a man who was being disturbed by strange and unexplained noises. Instead of running, however, he decided to investigate, but with his camera rolling. What he discovered left him terrified. As he was investigating the noise, he stumbled upon a creature in the darkness. It was a ghastly creature, pale in appearance, its eyes ominously glowing, lurking on the ground. Though the footage is a bit shaky, you can still make out what looks like a pair of human-like arms. Not long after this discovery, the video ended. That creature looked nothing like a human. It had no ears or any visual indication of a nose. The white skin and glowing eyes of the creature are reminiscent of a rake. For those unfamiliar with them, rakes are paranormal creatures that are known to stalk people. Approach them and they won't hesitate to attack. Although they are humanoid, they also appear to be crouching and are extremely pale. What do you think? Was the creature the man found a rake? Or is it all fake? Tell us in the comments section. Next, we have this Trailcam capture from the wild. You don't need to be an animal expert to know that there is a lot wrong with this wild animal. Its eyes look weird, which I doubt the camera and lighting have anything to do with, and one of its horns is pointing the wrong way. Now, here's where things get interesting. Many viewers who saw this capture have put forward theories. Some suggest it could be a mutated deer or the result of a government project gone wrong. But in my opinion, the deer seems to be simply sick and in need of help. What do you think? This spectacle, captured in a shot, reveals an intriguing moment in a lush green landscape with coiled and angled branches. At the center of attention is a white or gray-looking animal with its rear facing the trail camera. While it resembles a member of the cat family, identifying the exact species remains a mystery. It could potentially be a variety of creatures, including wild cats or even domestic cats, to determine the species accurately. Further details and clearer views of the animal's characteristics would have to be necessary. Nature often surprises us with its diversity, and this sighting adds to the intrigue of the natural world. If more information becomes available or if viewers have insights, it might help clarify the identity of this enigmatic creature. Until then, we can only guess, and guess we will. Tell me what you believe you are seeing. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Late one night on a quiet, secluded farm, a farmer was stirred from his sleep by a commotion among his animals. Worried about their well-being, he quickly made his way to the source of the disturbance. Under the soft glow of the moon, he was met with an odd and unexpected sight. There, in the midst of his farm, stood a peculiar creature. It bore a resemblance to an emaciated baboon, its fur unkempt and tangled. The creature seemed agitated, hopping about in a manner that suggested it was disorientated or frightened. This was no ordinary encounter, and the farmer couldn't help but wonder about the identity of this mysterious being. Was it a lost animal, or perhaps something more enigmatic, a denizen of the night that rarely ventured in a human territory? Unsure what the answer might be, he posted it online to gather the opinions, thoughts, and feelings from the online community. Some thought it was only a baboon, others an otherworldly creature. When it comes to my team and me, the responses are mixed as well. We need a tiebreaker. What do you guys think it is? Tell us in the comments section. Next, we have another glitch that's a tad confusing. Anyone who has used any of these things should know this isn't how they're supposed to work. The man should have gone through freely, but that's not the case. Another one of those bars just appears out of nowhere. It has you wondering, could we be looking at a defective unit, or is what we are seeing merely a glitch in the matrix? It's hard for us to definitely say, given the limited information we have, but what do you think? Tell us in the comments section. In this footage, a group of divers came across this body in the depths of the ocean. While it's nothing new that some people do throw away evidence of their crime in the sea, this body they found, however, was a little bit strange. The body had a mask on, and when the diver went closer to take a look, the person's eyes were wide open. Was he alive? Well, that's hard to say, but if we are to go by logic, I'd say no. Given the way the mask was stuck on his face, it was almost as though it had been glued there. Could this be an elaborate prank by the divers, or are we looking at what could possibly be a crime scene? Share your thoughts with us in the comments section. Another intriguing discovery captured by a trail camera is this image of a humanoid dog-like creature. The creature is covered in pristine white fur from head to toe and seems to be emerging from the woods under the cover of night. It stands upright on its hind legs, resembling what some might describe as an albino dogman. While it's true that people occasionally wear costumes or use CGI for pranks and hoaxes, this particular image does appear quite authentic. The details and posture of the creature lend an air of authenticity to the photograph. What do you think, though? Is it real? Could this be another cryptid, or is this simply a hoax? Tell us your take. Still on the odd-looking and bizarre, what do you reckon this is? At first glance, one might think it's a bear, but once the footage is zoomed in, you realize that while it might have a body reminiscent of a bear, that creature is no bear. It appears to have what looks like horns on its head. Beyond that, it also appears to be moving on all twos like a humanoid would, albeit with a slight bend. Seeing this image in our mailbox was a real thrill, even though it might be a bit spooky in person. Is this a new type of cryptid? Is it some variation of the Bigfoot, or is this a new bear hybrid? It's hard to say, but we can't wait for the subscriber who sent this in to revisit the location and send in more pictures. Until then, what do you think we're dealing with? Have you ever seen a creature like this? Please share your thoughts with us in the comments section. We'd love to hear them. There have been strange signs in the sky from all around the world that sometimes make me wonder if the world is finally coming to an end, as we have heard 1,000 times. In this footage, we see a strange slanted line of bright clouds across the sky. I must say it's a beautiful sight to behold, but at the same time, I can't help but wonder if there is something behind this. This could also just be a beautiful display of nature, but the human tendency to associate extraordinary events with the end of times is as old as time itself. So while the sky continues to paint its masterpieces and leave us in wonder, let's appreciate the beauty without necessarily jumping to apocalyptic conclusions. For those who do not know what a chupacabra is, it's a mythical creature that is known to drain the blood out of the livestock, and the one who sent in this next footage believes he caught one on tape. Take a look. Given by my description, you'd expect to see a creature on the hunt or one that looks intimidating, but instead we're met with a creature that's deep into some serious plant sniffing. That's definitely not the behavior you'd expect from a creature known for draining the life out of animals. That leaves us with one question. What if we're dealing with a case of mistaken identity? Perhaps a herbivore battling the dreaded mange disease. That can make it look a bit more chupacabra-esque. The sniffing of plants will make sense if it's just a misunderstood vegetarian with a skin condition. What's your take on this strange-looking chupacabra, though? Tell us in the comments section. What do you think that being is? Before you move any further, pause the video and write what you think it is in the comments section so we can confirm after. Moving on, what do you think it was? What did you write? Yes, the capture looks like the image of some wraith taken very late at night, but what if I told you it's none of these things? What if I told you there was actually a logical explanation for what you see? Well, there actually is. The figure captured in the video is nothing more than a man in a ghillie suit. For many of you, this might be a new term, but it's actually commonly used by the military to blend in with natural surroundings and vegetation during missions. This is the explanation for its bizarre look. At first glance, one might think this certainly has to be a humanoid creature that emerged from the deepest parts of the sea, but thankfully it's not. How was it captured on a Trailcam then? Well, the Trailcam that captured this might probably be located in a military zone used for training. Imagine not knowing about this and waking up to a dozen of these on your trail camera. You might think aliens are taking over the world or something, which is exactly what the owner of this Trailcam footage thought. Thankfully, though, it looks like we are free, at least for the next few decades, until we truly encounter some alien species. That's if they exist. This deer camera footage captures a tranquil scene in the woods during the night. The scattered trees and the central tree with a unique marking create an eerie and mysterious atmosphere. As the camera zooms in, we can see a prominent celestial object in the sky which could easily be mistaken for the moon. However, upon closer inspection, it appears to be more like an orb or another identified object. The nature of this object raises questions and curiosity. On this channel, we've long associated orbs with supernatural activity, but some have pointed out that this could be of alien origin. Others argue it could be an unknown celestial object or orb that somehow materialized in our plane. Either of these is possible, and either of these would be a great reality. What do you personally think we're dealing with here? Tell us in the comments section. We'd love to hear it. Still on cryptids, have a look at this security cam footage. Did you see the creature? That was an ape-like being trying so hard to cross the street undetected in the dead of the night. While it managed to evade human eyes, it couldn't escape the vigilant gaze of the security camera. You don't need to be told after seeing it the first time to know it's Bigfoot. But here's the thing. Unlike most Bigfoot clips we've seen, this creature moves incredibly fast for its size. It's fascinating the way it moves. It's like it's completely in its element. Sure, it has an ape-like body, but its movements are so eerily human. One question remains. Where was it headed? Honestly, who knows where it was headed? One thing's for certain, I wouldn't want to encounter it at night, especially if it's prowling around for food. And my guess, that's probably what brought it to town. After all, what else will a Bigfoot be doing in town at night? Or is this a hoax? Share your thoughts. Have you ever had anyone photobomb your picture? If your answer is yes, believe me when I tell you your pictures have never been photobombed like the next image I'm about to show you. This unsuspecting couple took a cute selfie together during a morning hike and found it to be a lovely picture. You know, the kind you take when you're head over heels. Imagine their surprise when they took a second look at the picture when they got home, only to find an unexpected photobomber. To their astonishment, they discovered a creature positioned right between the trees in the background, seemingly posing for the camera. The creature appeared hairy with brown fur. There were no apes in the area, which left only one possibility: a cryptid. But which kind? Your guess is as good as mine. A Bigfoot? But is it real, though? Share your thoughts in the comments section. In the annals of mysterious and unexplained phenomena, the appearance of strange beings, especially those reminiscent of aliens, tends to capture our imagination. The year 2019 brought forth a curious piece of footage from the heart of Brazil that has left many intrigued. In the video, we see a peculiar, pale and black-eyed creature. Its appearance is undeniably otherworldly, and it appears to be engaging with the Trailcam curiously. As with many such sightings, there's room for skepticism, with some suggesting it might be a well-executed hoax, possibly involving a person in an elaborate costume or skillful CGI. However, considering the vastness of the universe and our limited understanding of it, one can't help but wonder if there might be a fraction of truth to such sightings. What do you think? If you made it this far and haven't hit the like button, subscribed, or even dropped a comment, could you do that before we go on? Thank you very much, as it means a lot. Moving back to today's episode. During a visit to an animal park, a group of tourists came across a rather unusual sight involving a giraffe. At first glance, it appears as if this giraffe was attempting to challenge the lion's claim to the jungle throne, sporting what looked like a crown atop its head. However, upon closer inspection, a different, more concerning reality emerged. The tourists soon realized that this giraffe wasn't vying for royal status. Instead, it seemed to be suffering from some kind of growth or tumor on its head, with a noticeable hole at its center. This peculiar condition could be the result of various factors, including a virus infection or even a birth defect. One can't help but feel empathy for this creature, hoping that it receives the care and attention it needs to recover or manage its condition. Does any one of you know what's happening? Please pray to tell. Would love to know. This footage is a reminder to lock your doors at night before bed and, above all, mind your business. The footage was captured by a family who heard weird noises outside their house but made a smart choice to investigate through their window instead of going out to see for themselves. As you can see from the footage, everything looked normal as they had imagined all they had heard, but out of nowhere, a pale creature emerges from the dark and crawls very fast toward the window. Thankfully, they were able to shut the window in time and the creature disappeared as quickly as it came. But let's take a second look in slow motion. The creature clearly has human-like features, but it crawls instead of walks, and its arms are very skinny and a tad sickly. Everything about it is reminiscent of a rake. If you think otherwise, do not hesitate to mention it in the comments section. Footage from Ontario, Canada. In the clip, we see some boaters filming their time out on the lake when a creature moves in between the trees in the land ahead of them. The creature moves quickly as though it didn't want to be seen. Creatures in the wild are always shy, so this would not be odd, but we see the boaters head toward the land as they wanted to see the creature up close. But why? Watch this zoomed-in version of the footage and you can understand why. Did you see it? That's an ape-like creature, and there are no apes in Ontario. If you take a closer look at the footage, it gets even more suspicious. Although the creature looks like an ape, it has human-like gait. Do you know any other creatures that look like apes with human-like features and traits? Yes, you guessed right. Bigfoot. There's a Bigfoot in Ontario, and this is just one of many bits of evidence. There's one question we've been asking, though. Is there just one Bigfoot in these woods, or is there an entire community simply hiding from us? Share your thoughts. This intriguing footage captured in the woods offers a rather bizarre but unique sight. Amidst the natural surroundings, we see a figure that appears to be clinging to a tree with its entire body resembling the texture of tree bark. It looks as though it had been in a perpetual tug-of-war with the tree for an extended period. Naturally, the one who filmed it thought it was an interesting shot and shared it online to hear people's thoughts and ideas of what it could be. Some argued that it was not a living being, but rather a carving or sculpture designed to closely resemble a human figure. Some wanted to believe it was alien. Some also subscribed to the idea that it's digitally manipulated. If you ask me what I thought about the whole thing, I'd say the hypothesis of it being a carving might not be too far off. It's possible that this carving holds significance in local folklore or legends, but without more context, its story remains a mystery. What do you think, though? Speaking of mysterious captures, if you have footage and clips you want to show on this channel, don't hesitate to send them in. If you're unsure of what you captured, don't worry, I'm sure the thousands of subscribers who watch the videos could help you make sense of it. Simply send it in to classifiedcaptures@gmail.com. Moving on, what would you do if you ran into a ginormous creature? What would you do? If you said run for dear life, I'd consider it a normal response, but the man in the next footage did the opposite. Watch. In this clip, the recorder is strategically positioned to capture an intriguing sight within the vast forested area. Tall, lush green trees dominate the landscape, creating a serene yet mysterious backdrop. While the video maintains a sense of quietude, it's apparent that the recorder is dedicated to documenting the unfolding scene. As the video unfolds, a figure comes into view from a few strides away. This figure is of considerable height, estimated to be between 10 and 12 feet tall. Its appearance is notably dark and covered in hair, bearing a striking resemblance to the legendary creature known as Bigfoot. The figure moves purposefully down the trail with an expressionless demeanor, seemingly unfazed by any events or surroundings. This enigmatic sighting raises intriguing questions. Is this indeed a genuine encounter with Bigfoot, a creature steeped in folklore and myth? Or could it possibly be a well-executed costume or mascot designed to mimic the iconic creatures? Now, this next footage is one that I have seen countless times, yet never been able to wrap my head around. Take a look. It was recorded by a man going through the woods late at night, and I still don't understand why people do that. Anyway, on his way, he sees a strange figure ahead, which appears to be humanoid, but looks the farthest thing from anything human. It puzzled him, and he doesn't move. He points for a while and then moves towards it. When he's close enough, the footage ends, and that's it. Then you start to wonder, what was it? Why did all the footage end? Did he escape with his life? Well, we have the footage, so he probably did. But then again, what did he encounter? These are questions no one has answers to. However, some in the paranormal community who live in the same region as he does state that he encountered a jinn. For those unfamiliar with the term, a jinn or a genie is a supernatural being in Islamic mythology capable of shape-shifting and possessing magical powers. They're created from smokeless fire and exist parallel to humans, unseen in their daily lives. In folklore, they're known for granting wishes to those who summon or possess time, but their nature can be unpredictable and potentially malevolent, like the two in Aladdin. So what do you think? Personally, I don't know what to make of it. On that note, if you still haven't liked, commented, or subscribed to the channel yet, please do so now before I send that creature after you. On a more serious note, it really helps us out a ton and gives us the opportunity to keep making these videos for you, so please do so and share this video with your friends and family. Thank you very much. Trail cams have captured quite a number of Bigfoot footage, and recent times have given us a glimpse into the lives of these elusive creatures. The next footage is no different. This trail camera captured 3 images of a spot in the woods. In the first 2, everything seems okay until we take a closer look at the third one. Behind the trees, there appears to be a body standing behind the trees, a huge furry body. Now, this could be anything at all, a bear, wolf, gorilla, just anything at all, maybe a shadow even, but the trail cam owner is certain that this is a Bigfoot. What do you guys think? Is this the real deal or just one of those false alarms? Dragons, werewolves, and witches are all characters we see in fairy tales, but these days, with these sightings in our forests and mountains, these creatures seem to be becoming more and more of a reality than they are a fiction. A hiker was exploring the woods when he came across this beautiful white horse. But wait, it's not just a horse, it's a unicorn. Yeah, you heard me right, the beautiful horse was spotting a horn on its head. Looks like in the years to come, there will be no such thing as fairy tales anymore. This trail cam footage indeed presents a puzzling scenario with several elements at play. Initially, it appears to capture a group of deer feasting on their night ration with glowing eyes, a phenomenon often attributed to the reflection of light from the camera. However, the intriguing aspect of this footage lies in a distant source of illumination that appears much later. The distant light source does indeed resemble a human head, and it's wrapped in what seems like a transparent covering. The most common assumption for such an occurrence might be that it's an unidentified flying object or an apparition of some kind. To arrive at a more conclusive understanding of this enigmatic footage, further analysis and investigation are necessary. Without additional context or information, it remains a mysterious occurrence open to interpretation and speculation. The uploader believes it's alien, and I'm tempted to side with him. What say you, alien or something entirely different? Tell us your thoughts in the comment section. In Alaska, a wildlife photographer came across a strange creature in the woods while on one of his usual photo escapades. Initially, he'd heard strange noises coming from the woods, so he began looking around with his camera, hoping to find the source. And boy, did he find it. There, among the trees, was a strange creature that did not look anything like the usual forest dweller. This creature was pale and had a hunch on its back. He only saw the back of the creature as it was moving further into the woods. My team and I are not entirely sure what we could be dealing with. I would have to say it was a rake, but they're not known to move like that. Skinwalker? Nah, I'm not sure, but what do you think? Stepping away from the demonic, we move on to the marine world, which includes marine spirits and beings. What comes to mind when you see this tale? Me? A shark or something along those lines. According to my assistant Steve, however, that's not how their tales come. He did the research and thought that this had to be some other undocumented species. Being the curious person I am, we did some research and realized it's one of two things: an edited footage meant to deceive those who watch it, or a genuine capture of a mermaid. According to those who are experts in all things mermaid, this is the tale of a mermaid. This is a first for us, especially without the upper body. What do you guys think? Tell us in the comment section. In this intriguing video, a courageous man finds himself in an undisclosed location, standing amidst a vast landscape with an abundance of lush green plants. However, the particular area where he's standing appears to be barren, with only a green sack in his hand. What makes this scene all the more remarkable is the action that unfolds next. The man upends the sack, causing a collection of snakes to spill out on the ground. Without hesitation, he discards the sack, crouches down, and proceeds to handle the snakes with his bare hands. As he does so, the snakes quickly disperse in various directions. The exact location of this video and the specific species of snakes involved remain undisclosed, leaving viewers with a sense of mystery. The man's audacious act of handling these snakes barehanded is indeed an alarming sight to behold, and it raises numerous questions. What motivated him to undertake this endeavor, and what message or symbolism might be associated with this unusual act? Was he aided by some voodoo, or is it purely skill? Share your thoughts with us in the comment section. What do you see when you look at this capture? Before you conclude it's just a dirty monkey or a chimpanzee covered in mud, take a look at its fingers. Do those look normal to you? Certainly not. Moving away from its fingers and taking a look at its face, you can tell that the eyes are much more sunken than they should be, and its nostrils have holes bigger and definitely deeper than ordinary primates that size. Just what could we be dealing with here? Well, no one knows, not even the one whose trail camera captured this. According to him, there are no primates in the area, and a local legend speaks of a small but wicked ape-like creature that roams the woods seeking to exact revenge on all who hurt the wildlife in the area. He mentions that even as a child, he's always thought the story to be ridiculous and unreal. At least he thought so until his trail camera captured this. What do you think of the whole thing? Do you believe his story, or do you think there's something more sinister happening here? Share your thoughts with us in the comments section. We'd love to know. What you're looking at is a cast made from what is suspected to be the footprint of a Bigfoot. Somewhere in Colombia, a man went fishing when he felt an eerie sensation as though he was being watched by something dangerous. He turned around just in time to catch sight of a massive creature staring at him from a distance. When the stalker noticed it had been spotted, it quickly dashed into the woods. The fisherman chased it after, but soon lost sight of it. He returned to the spot where the creature had been standing, only to see huge footprints that were left in the sand by whatever it was that he'd chased. 1 foot of the prints was about 12 inches long and 5 inches wide. It was definitely much bigger than that of any human he knew. There was only one creature that could have left a print as large and abominable as what you see. For our next video, we visit Jahalis, Canada. Take a look at these tracks. What do you think made them? You don't need to be a genius to know this was done by something big and possibly dangerous. Whatever it was, it had to have big feet. We all know what the culprit should be, the one and only Bigfoot. Now let's delve into the story behind these intriguing tracks. It all began when a family stumbled upon them during one of their outings. At first, they believed it to be a one-time occurrence. However, as time went on and they continued spotting these tracks in different seasons, it became increasingly clear that the creature resided in close proximity. This was all hypothetical until someone in the family actually saw the creature in its full glory. It was no ape or a bear or any other large mammal you can think of. It was actually Bigfoot. Interestingly, even after discovering that Bigfoot resides nearby, the family has chosen to remain in their home. In fact, one brave member even throws stones at the creature whenever they cross paths, boldly stating that they're not afraid. What would you have done if it were you and your family? Would you have stayed, or would you have moved? Tell us in the comments section. During a stroll in the woods, an unsuspecting farmer came across a natural but somewhat gruesome scene. What lay before him was the shriveled remains of a bear, which had become a feast for countless worms and insects. This sighting serves as a stark reminder of the cycle of life and nature's way of recycling organic matter. While such a sight would undoubtedly evoke strong reactions from many, the farmer displayed a remarkable level of courage by not only witnessing it, but also filming the scene. It raises the question of how one would react in the face of such a natural but unsettling spectacle. Feel free to share your thoughts on how you would have handled encountering such a sight in the comments section. We'd love to know. Have you ever taken a walk down a dark path and instantly regretted it? Well, I know I have, but I doubt it in any way compares to the next footage I'm about to show you. What do you think that creature is? Well, if you are clueless, then you aren't the only one. At first glance, it might seem like a mountain lion, but after a few seconds, you'll notice it's longer than any mountain lion should be. It almost looks like a human being moving on all fours, albeit without any human-like features. Many who saw the footage believed it was a skinwalker, and the uploader seems to think so too. He mentions that there are many legends of skinwalkers in the area, but it was not until he encountered what you were seeing on your screen that he started to believe that the legends might be true. That's his personal assertion, though. What do you see when you look at the footage? Do you see a skinwalker too, or are we simply blowing things out of proportion? Share your thoughts with us in the comments sections. We'd love to hear them. This Trailcam was set to capture an unknown creature that was rumored to be living in the woods. Some stated that it was the legendary Gray Man, which is considered by some to be a benevolent spirit that warns humans of impending danger. As no one had seen it, no one knew what to expect until this trail camera recorded a creature in this footage which many thought was the Gray Man. As you can see from the footage, there's a cute creature standing amidst the woods, seemingly awestruck. It stands for a while and then quickly retreats into the woods. Do you think this is truly the Gray Man, or could it be a small monkey or some other small critter that had been mistaken for it? Share your thoughts in the comments section. Next, we have this Trailcam capture of what looks like a wolf-dog creature with the body of an ape and the gait of a bipedal creature such as a human. If you're a subscriber and a follower of this channel, then you know we've come across creatures that look like this in the past. The ones we've seen, however, look much more like either a dog or a wolf, but this particular one looks like it has a bear's face. Although each is slightly different, they all have the face of a canine, which fits the description of the Dogman creature. If you're hearing of the Dogman for the first time, it's a humanoid creature with the body of a human and the head of a canine, which may be that of a wolf or a dog. It's also stated to be tall and muscular with sharp teeth and claws. You don't need to be an expert on the subject to know we're looking at the embodiment of the creature on your screens. One question remains, though. Is this really the Dogman, or is it fake? Tell us what you think. In the midst of all the mysterious and enigmatic Trailcam captures we often come across, it's refreshing to stumble upon something that brings a smile to our faces. So here we have this deer, quite literally making the best of its moment in the spotlight. Just take a closer look at the picture and you'll see a majestic creature with its tongue playfully sticking out, striking a pose that's nothing short of adorable. It's almost as if this deer decided it was time to give the paparazzi, in this case the Trailcam, a taste of its modeling prowess. You have to admit, he's beautiful, isn't he? And that concludes today's episode. Thank you for staying throughout. Wandering through the woods can often lead to an assortment of unexpected experiences, some more unnerving than others. Such was the case for a woman who found herself in a spine-tingling situation deep within the forest.
What the f is that? What is that? Oh, it's moving. No. No.
A woman was walking through the woods when she started to hear strange noises coming from a hollow space surrounded by trees. Typically, that should be a sign to get the hell out of there. But this woman was feeling pretty brave that day, so she took out her camera to film. Within a few seconds of filming, her lens landed on a strange dark figure perched by a tree trunk in the darkness. She stood to look at it for a while. That only lasted until the creature moved slightly, which was enough to scare and get her running away from it. In my opinion, I think it was the best choice because although that thing was not visible, it gave me this chilling feeling of being hunted. But you have to wonder, what exactly is that thing? It didn't exactly have a discernible face. Do you think this is another science experiment gone wrong, or are there creatures like this in the wild we have yet to discover? Share your thoughts with us, as we'd love to hear them. Glitch, glitch, glitch. If you've been on this channel, then you know how many times we have discussed glitches in the Matrix. But no matter how much footage we post, the list never ends. In this footage, we're introduced to a broken glass. Nothing extraordinary about that, right? But after breaking the glass, they try to put it back together like bits of a puzzle. You'd expect it all to fit together, wouldn't you? But no, it doesn't. When they invert it, which is the wrong way to put it back, then it fits. I mean, this shouldn't be a big deal, but it is. It's like meeting a man who shouldn't be able to stand tall, but he's not able to, yet can stand on his head. I know this illustration is extreme, but how else do you explain this? This is indeed a strange science mystery. For our final footage, we thought we'd sign off with something a tad creepy, especially for you Harry Potter fans. What do you think that is? Some may think ghost, while others some type of demon. But the one who uploaded the footage believes it was a Dementor and believes that there are Dementors stalking him for no reason. Now, anyone who has watched Harry Potter is familiar with the Dementors. We know how these creatures can be, and we also know it's the last creature you want to meet out of the Harry Potter universe. Unless, of course, you can do the Patronus charm. So what do you think? Is this footage real? If it is that a Dementor or simply another case of mistaken identity? Share your thoughts in the comments section. On a tranquil day, a strange event occurred on a rice farm located in Indonesia. A metallic ball suddenly fell from the sky, startling the residents in the vicinity. The ball appeared to be very unusual, and people quickly left their homes to witness the unexpected event. As they arrived at the farm, they saw the ball lying on the ground, and everyone seemed confused and surprised at this strange situation. The ball had a metallic look, and its surface was smooth with no markings or writings on it. The nature of this ball and the reason for its fall remain unknown. Some people suggested that it could be debris from space or even extraterrestrial in origin. However, there was no way to confirm this theory yet. Fortunately, no one was harmed during the incident, and the authorities were informed to investigate the matter further. In this amazing video, we don't see a ghost, but something even more incredible. A majestic creature with bat-like wings and horns on its head, soaring through the sky. This isn't just a bird, it's like a creature from a legend, a dragon in all its breathtaking glory. Seeing such a mythical creature makes us question the world and what we know. How could something like this exist outside of stories and old tales? Is this real footage or perhaps a hoax? I mean, if we can make insects, this should be a cup of tea, right? But even so, I can't help but wonder, from ghosts to legendary monsters, I wonder what else there is to see. Back in June 2023, this strange thing, if I may call it that, was spotted in the skies in Japan. It resembled a peculiar shaped mass of dark material suspended in the sky. Though static, it appeared like a blot on the clouds, despite not being situated within them. Instead, it floated independently in the sky. Some said it was some sort of alien structure, while others thought it looked like nothing they had ever seen. But still, this was an unusual appearance in the sky that has left a lot wondering if it is even safe to be around. So what's your take on this mysterious airborne appearance? Are we witnessing a cosmic art installation or maybe an otherworldly visitor? Now here's a wild ride through the tales of Bigfoot encounters, some chilling, others painting the creature as harmless. In this particular footage, an adventurous ATV rider hits the jackpot, getting up close and personal with Bigfoot at the far end of the river, and the creature seemed unbothered by his presence as it just went about its merry way. Perhaps it's used to seeing people, or it didn't think anyone would believe the man. Anyway, speaking of believing him, do you believe this is real? We have this mystery that even we can't seem to wrap our heads around. Take a look at it. Did you see it? Did you see the fish with a human-like face? Upon closer inspection, you'll notice distinct eyes, a nose, and surprisingly pouty lips. I don't even have words for it. Is this some kind of a science experiment gone wrong, or a new species of fish? We leave that up to your imagination. Next, we have this very confusing image we just can't seem to make sense of. Can you help? In the footage, we see what looks like a panther with white tusks and a translucent-looking figure by it. At first glance, it might appear as if we're looking at the panther with white tusks resembling those of an extinct saber-toothed tiger. However, upon closer examination, some might argue it could be the backside of the panther. But which is it? Could this be an otherworldly creature, or is it simply a poor image by the Trailcam due to lighting and environmental conditions? Share your thoughts with us. Have you watched the movies where demons or possessed individuals appear to have black eyes? If you have, then perhaps you can relate to this next capture better. Take a look. If you look closely at the lady in front, you'll notice her eyes are dark. This was taken on a subway, and the man apparently noticed her dark eyes and tried to get some pictures or videos of her. While that might have seemed like a good idea, you can tell that the lady, or whatever she is, can clearly tell she's been filmed. If she's truly demonic like we're suspecting, then clearly this was a bad idea. Do you think she's a demon, or that she's possessed? Could there be a more logical explanation? Share your thoughts. It's no secret that other entities roam the earth with us, some disguised to blend in with the human population. But when we retire to beds at night, they seem to shed their camouflage. In this security camera footage, something bizarre happened. A person was seen walking across the street when all of a sudden he started to disappear from the legs upward until he was fully gone. What entity do you think that could be? Is that a ghost, spirit, or perhaps a demon? We have something else that we have a hard time explaining. Wondering what I'm talking about? Have a look. Did you see that? Did you see the third deer appear out of thin air as characters spawn in a video game? If you did, you aren't seeing things, it really did happen. The question is, how? Well, no one knows. Now, here's where things get interesting. The paranormal community suggests it might be an animal spirit or something of the sort. Sounds intriguing, right? But here's the problem. Why would the spirit choose that particular time of the day and reveal itself to multiple people? It just doesn't quite add up. Something that the driver might have offended the spirits, but we can't say for sure. Others, including myself, thought it was just a glitch in the Matrix. In case you are not familiar with the terminology, it's the belief that you and I are just in a computer simulation like the Matrix movies. This simulation from time to time breaks, which creates the kind of situation we're seeing with the deer. There are also some who think it's merely an optical illusion due to the perspective, and as logical as that sounds, it's hard to believe in this case. Some also subscribe to the idea that the footage is edited and it's a hoax. But you saw the footage too. What do you think? Trail cams are mostly set to capture wildlife, the beautiful interaction between animals in the forests and grassland. But this trail cam caught something quite unexpected. If you look at this image, it looks like a regular bush. However, take a look at these 3 shining dots on the left side. What could that be? 3 eyes? Trailcams typically capture the reflections of animals' eyes, resulting in the unusual sight of 2 pairs of glowing eyes in the dark. This particular image, however, displays 3 shining dots. What animal known to us roams the forest having a set of 3 eyes? The answer is simple: none. Could this be a paranormal creature or just a deformed coyote? I'll prefer the former because a creature with 3 eyes does not seem like something to be safe around. What do you think, though? Next, we have another wonder to deliberate on. This strange creature was found by some individuals at the seashore. It's round and puffy, resembling some kind of rodent. But here's where it gets weirder. It's got no head or tail, just a tiny leg and an opening on the side. What in the world could we be looking at? Is it a bizarre marine species, an alien beachcomber, or something else entirely? The lack of a head adds an extra layer of intrigue to the mystery. What's your take on this seaside creature? With a mystery that's unlike anything we have ever showcased on this channel. Take a look. You see it, don't you? That's a plastic bag walking across the street. Even saying the sentence out loud makes it sound weird and doesn't make sense. But that's exactly what we're looking at here. The logical explanation would have been that the wind has something to do with it. That is, the bag's being carried by the wind. Looking at it critically, though, we see what looks like legs moving one step after the other. Could this be a coincidence, a function of CGI, or perhaps a paranormal being possessing the plastic bag? We aren't very sure, but everyone in my team is leaning towards possession. What about you? There have been many instances of videos circulating online that claim to show evidence of alien life, but some appear to be fake. One such video is this strange creature supposedly spotted in the clouds. The creature is a huge entity with tentacles. The person who shared the footage believes that it's an alien. However, something seems off here. The said alien is darker than its surroundings, which is a telltale sign that the footage has been created using computer-generated imagery. The creature is clearly out of place in its environment. In the middle of the night, a young man stumbled upon a peculiar object hovering above the ground. Upon closer inspection, he noticed that it appeared to be a ring-shaped formation made up of several small orbs. The strange object was swaying back and forth in a rhythm that seemed to defy any logical explanation. While some might argue that it was nothing more than a group of balloons, the time of night made this explanation seem unlikely. As a result, some began to speculate that the object was actually a ghostly apparition or some sort of otherworldly entity. I mean, I want to believe it, but you know that Harry Potter spell? Ridiculous. That's what comes to mind. What do you think it is? Kindly hit the like button and subscribe if you haven't done so already. Doing so lets you stay updated and allows us to create more videos for you. Thanks for doing so. Now let's continue with the day's episode. Next up, we have today's bonus segment. Can you accurately tell me what the creature in this capture is? If you can, kindly do so in the comments section and start your comment with bonus footage. Don't forget to add one interesting fact about what you see, just to make sure we know what you're talking about. The most accurate comment with the most interesting fact wins a chance to be featured in our future videos. This is a chance you certainly cannot pass by. We can't wait to read your answers. A trail camera set up in a cornfield captured this pair of glowing orbs among the plants. These lights are so clear that it's hard to ignore. The owner of the image was so puzzled by this that he posted the picture with hopes of finding what this could be. Some say it could be headlights in the distance, but how's that even possible? The distance from the nearest road rules out the headlights theory. Others speculate that the orbs could be part of a global phenomenon that we've seen in various parts of the world. You know, the extraterrestrial kind. Then there's others who think they belong to otherworldly creatures crossing into our planes. The theories are endless, but the truth can be just one. What do you think it is? This person was captured from afar in the wilderness. Although not very clear, you can make out the silhouette of a slender person. The person appears to be wearing a robe with an oddly shaped head protruding from their body. The ears were sticking out, resembling the iconic ears of Yoda from Star Wars. What creature could we be looking at? Some might see it as a rare encounter with something beyond our understanding. Others might think it's just our brains playing tricks on us, showing us things that aren't there. What about you? What do you think? At first glance, this footage looks like a capture of the sky with a beautiful shade of blue. However, if you examine the footage more closely, you will see that there is something else there too, a strange entity that comes and goes. This entity moves in a back-and-forth motion, appearing and disappearing at seemingly random intervals. While it might resemble a cloud, it moves too quickly to be one. Could this be some sort of ghostly apparition? It's hard to say for sure, but it's certainly a possibility worth considering, don't you think? This is a bird's-eye view of the incident that took place in Miami quite recently. For those unfamiliar with the situation, a significant police presence enveloped the Bayside Marketplace Mall, sparking rumors of an extraterrestrial encounter. Some witnesses even claimed to have spotted a tall, unidentified figure in the vicinity, adding to the mystery surrounding the incident. Nevertheless, the Miami Police Department promptly dispelled the rumors, clarifying that the heightened police presence was in response to a disturbance caused by a group of teenagers setting off fireworks and engaging in looting. It was definitively stated that the situation had no connection to anything extraterrestrial. Despite the Miami Police Department's assertions, various footage that surfaced after the incident seems to suggest otherwise. In one such video captured from tall buildings in the vicinity, a colossal creature can be observed strolling past the police cars. The figure is unmistakable, raising questions about whether the authorities were attempting to conceal the presence of such a creature or if there's an explanation for the apparent discrepancy in accounts. You know how we've been asking you to send in your footage, and many of you have been hesitating. Well, this capture was sent in by a subscriber of the channel, and you and I are gonna help this person understand what they captured. Looking at the image, what do you see? Julius believes it could be a man in a costume exploring the outdoors, but then again, Julius is just a figment of my imagination. Whilst Aaron believes it could be either an otherworldly or extraterrestrial exploring our lands at night. Given the blurry nature of the capture, there's only so much we can do. But what do you also see when you look at it? Tell us in the comments section. Angels have long been revered as divine beings, known for their luminous appearance and wings. Recently, intriguing footage has surfaced, showing a collection of glowing objects in the night sky. The objects were not like the famous glowing orbs that have been spotted in the past. They were a mass of oddly shaped things moving slowly in a captivating manner. The footage has left people wondering if these creatures were truly angels. The video raises many questions. Were these objects divine beings checking in on us, or were they something else entirely? What are your thoughts? As the rain poured down, someone decided to capture the event on their camera. Turns out they did the right thing because suddenly, out of nowhere, a bolt of lightning struck the ground, accompanied by a deafening roar of thunder. Out of the lightning flash emerged a floating, glowing entity. The entity appeared to be hovering mid-air and appeared to be surrounded by an ethereal glow. The person filming was so spooked that they quickly retreated to the safety of their home. The question that remains is, what exactly was that mysterious entity? Was it an angel or some sort of interdimensional being that arrived through a portal created by the lightning strike? During his night shift, a park keeper was serenaded by these haunting sounds coming from the woods nearby. The eerie sounds resembled peculiar howls but carried a distinctively human quality. The gatekeeper, with years of experience in his role, attested that he had never encountered such unsettling sounds in all the years he'd worked there. Intrigued and determined to uncover the source, the park keeper ventured into the woods for an investigation. However, to his bewilderment, he returned empty-handed, unable to pinpoint the origins of the sounds. What do you think this could be? Could it be the nocturnal activities of an elusive creature, their cries echoing through the night? Or perhaps the veil between our world and the supernatural has briefly lifted, allowing us to hear the voices of ethereal entities? Some even entertain the idea of mischievous individuals, potentially dabbling in occult practices or playing elaborate pranks on the unsuspecting park keeper. What about you? What do you think of the whole thing? Personally, I think there's always a scientific explanation to everything. The next clip comes from a man who took a picture as he was exploring the woodlands close to his home. Unknown to him, he'd captured something that many have only dreamed of seeing, the legendary Bigfoot. If you pay attention to the image on your screen right now, you should see just in front of the woods stood an 8 to 9 feet tall creature. The creature has dark fur and is staring straight into the camera. You tell me that's not a Bigfoot. Yet, as with all things extraordinary, skepticism rears its head, with many doubters suggesting it to be nothing more than a hoax. Some stated it was a cleverly edited image, while others suggested it was perhaps a person concealed within a well-designed costume. But what do you say? Is this real, or do you think it's a hoax? Share your thoughts with us in the comments section. If you haven't already hit the like button, subscribed, or even dropped a comment so far, could you please do so now? I don't want Aaron sending a Skinwalker after you. Now back to today's episode. NASA launched a rover to Mars to explore the planet's surface. According to the one who uploaded this clip, during the mission, the rover stumbled upon an unexpected discovery: a finger. It's, however, unclear who it belongs to. According to him, further analysis is yet to be carried out to determine its origin and to understand how it ended up on the planet. There's a possibility that it could belong to extraterrestrial life, or it could have belonged to a human who previously visited the planet. As much as I want to believe this is true, everything about it screams hoax and false. I mean, if NASA discovered something like this, it would be big news, unless, of course, they're in cahoots with the aliens. What do you guys think? As we all know, technology has advanced far beyond our wildest imaginations. Tesla's work with robots is an excellent example of this. However, what caught my attention recently was something even more fascinating, a piece of footage that we discovered. It shows a person holding what appears to be a fly in their hand, but on closer examination, it becomes clear that this insect is not a natural one. It appears to be made entirely of metal and has a head that doesn't resemble that of a regular insect. There were some in the paranormal community, however, who thought it looked like a cicada or a jarfly. I looked them up, and I get where they're coming from, but this isn't it. This discovery raises many questions that I find intriguing. For instance, Who made this metal fly, and for what purpose? Are there other animals or insects in the wild that are not real, like this one? If so, what implications does this have for our understanding of the natural world? During a walk through the wilderness, someone came across this hole in the ground. Usually, looking at the hole, you would think it was some kind of pit or watering hole, but instead it was something entirely different. As our curious wanderer trains the camera lens on this unsuspecting hole, brace yourselves for the jaw-dropping revelation. Instead of the anticipated pit, what's unveiled is a mysterious spiral staircase leading into the depths of the earth. Yeah, you heard that correctly, an underground facility right there in the heart of the wilderness. This facility had lights on it that were still switched on. Now, either this is like one of those World War bunkers that had some pretty good technology that can keep the lights on for all these years, or this is a secret facility. If it's the former, kudos to the engineers who crafted the bunker that can keep the lights on for what seems like forever. But if it's the latter, then we have a problem. What could they be hiding from us that requires a top-secret underground facility in the heart of the wilderness? This man who saw this bizarre-looking worm and put it in his palm. As the man taps the creature, it responds by extending what appears to be a whitish root into the man's palm. This raises the questions about what this creature could be. Leeches, known for their blood-sucking tendencies, typically don't exhibit this kind of behavior. However, the presence of a root-like extension raises questions about the creature's biological characteristics and its interactions with its environment. Without much info on this creature, we're torn between speculations on whether this creature is a known species displaying a unique behavior, or if it's an entirely new species that has been discovered. During an expedition in the dense rainforests of Brazil, a curious explorer stumbled upon a set of mysterious bones. Upon closer inspection, it was discovered that the bones were of an unusual shape and didn't resemble any known human bones. This naturally created a buzz, even amongst those in the scientific community, with some speculating that they could be the remains of an extraterrestrial creature. A number of them, after examining the bones, thought it had to be fake. Simply put, the authenticity of the footage has been a topic of debate with mixed hypotheses. If proven to be authentic, this discovery could provide some of the strongest evidence yet that aliens exist amongst us. Having seen it with your own eyes, what do you think? Here we have another situation that is considered a glitch in the Matrix. A man came home from work, and as he entered his room, he noticed a tissue paper that was hanging mid-air in the corner. The tissue paper appears to be suspended mid-air without any visible means of support. But not just that, it was also frozen in time, which was quite perplexing. He searched the surrounding area for any evidence of strings or wires, but there was none. The tissue paper seemed to be hanging there on its own accord. One of the commentators on the original post was not amused. He believed the room had cobwebs. Julius thinks it's a hoax and Aaron thinks demonic beings are playing tricks on him. What do you think? Imagine walking out of your room to enjoy the evening sky and then coming across this. While the visual spectacle is undeniably captivating, let's not forget that lurking beneath the mesmerizing display is a force of nature that demands respect. The sheer power and unpredictability of these bolts makes them a force to be reckoned with. As we marvel at the awe-inspiring beauty of the night sky set ablaze, it's crucial to acknowledge the inherent danger that accompanies such displays. Lightning storms, as spectacular as they may look, can be very dangerous. Observe the appropriate precautions during such storms, and whatever you do, don't pick up your camera and stand in the rain trying to get a picture. You might not make it back home. Next, take a look at this security footage of a backyard that captured something rather sinister. The video starts off with what appears to be a calm night with nothing out of the ordinary, but in a few seconds we see something emerge from the darkness. Behold, it was a tall, pale figure with an imposing stature that dwarfed the surrounding trees. Standing at an impressive height, estimated to be around 8 to 9 feet or more, this being appears to be in black attire. The creature's unsettling presence is accentuated by its glowing eyes, casting an otherworldly appearance. What creature could this be? Is it a wandering zombie, which would explain why it's wearing clothes, or is there more to it? I mean, its height is definitely not human. Or am I sleeping seeing what's not there? What do you guys think? This surveillance camera that was installed to monitor the road captured something quite disturbing. As the cars were passing by, an unusual object was seen flying past. It was entirely black and appeared to have wings, but it was clear that it was not a bird. The creature looked much larger than a bird, and as it flew past, something that resembled human feet could be seen. It's quite difficult to determine what exactly the creature was, but it could be a human-bird hybrid or some kind of mutant. The incident has led to many theories and speculations, but no one knows for sure what we are looking at. Aaron thinks it might be a Garuda, but Julius points out that the whole thing is too unnatural to be a real capture. He suspects it's an elaborate hoax. What do you guys think? The phenomenon of unidentified flying objects, UFOs, has been a topic of intrigue and speculation for many years. While most reports describe saucer-shaped objects, there are instances where the shapes of UFOs have been particularly unusual. This footage captures one such instant, where an oddly shaped UFO was caught on camera. Interestingly, this type of UFO has been documented in the past, with reports dating as far back as 1561, when it was sighted in Nuremberg. The object is described as being shaped like an upside-down cursor, which is a unique and rather unexpected shape for a UFO. There is even a pamphlet from years ago that is a drawing of the said UFO, adding to the mystery surrounding it. What's your take on this? Here we have another strange encounter in the wilderness. A TikToker in Japan embarked on a camping adventure in the wilderness, expecting a serene night under the stars. As night fell, everything was normal until this started to happen. The van began to shake aggressively and the door of the van banged loudly. Now, normally, you'd think maybe there's a storm brewing or perhaps some mischievous critter having a late-night party on the van, but the footage from the outdoor camera he had set up shows nothing of the sort. Naturally, this left room for lots of speculation and theories. Some thought it was a spirit trying to send a message, whereas others could swear it was a forest guardian playing pranks on unsuspecting campers. As interesting as each of these theories might be, there's certainly no way to confirm which is true. One thing we can confirm, however, is that the young lad is lucky to have made it out in one piece without any damage to his body or soul. Just a quick reminder before the next clip comes, if you still haven't liked, commented, subscribed, could you do so right now? You wouldn't want me to send Mr. Bigfoot after you now, would you? Our next clip takes us to the depths of a mysterious cave, where a group of intrepid individuals stumbles upon a creature. It had the curious eyes with an otherworldly glow that drew immediate attention to its strange and captivating appearance. Upon closer inspection, the creature's ears exhibited an unusual structure resembling human ears, yet with a distinctive twist. Notably, the lower part seemed absent, while the upper part took on a pointed appearance at the tip. The brave explorers decided they'd stumbled upon something beyond the ordinary and took matters into their own hands and managed to secure the creature, suspecting it might be a jinn. For the uninitiated, a jinn is a supernatural entity often depicted in Middle Eastern mythology. They said to possess unique powers and exist in a realm beyond our normal perception. But if that's the case, how did these guys manage to capture one, using just physical force? Unable to find answers to these, some debate that this may be nothing more than a mutant, perhaps a reptilian man. I know what you're thinking, that's even more ludicrous than the jinn, but how do you explain what we're seeing? This video clip was recorded of a little bird running along the sandy beach. It's quite unusual to see birds running at such a pace, as they tend to fly or walk around while looking for food. However, this particular bird seems to be moving at an extraordinary speed, almost as if it was training for a race with the Flash. It's an exaggeration, but yes, upon closer inspection it became evident that there was nothing wrong with the bird. The reason it appeared to be moving so unnaturally fast was simply that it was moving faster than the frames per second rate of the camera used to record the video. The difference in speed between the bird and the camera's FPS rate created an optical illusion, making the bird appear to be running much faster than it actually was. Before we move on to the next clip, kindly smash the like and subscribe buttons and bell icon if you haven't already. Done? Well, let's jump back into it. A woman was going about her daily routine when she noticed something on the floor of her room. As she got closer, she realized it was a strange-looking creature that resembled a worm. The woman was unsure about the identity of the creature, so she posted this footage seeking help. Some suggested that it could be a rugworm or some other type of worm, but without a closer examination, it's hard to tell. The question that arises is how this creature ended up in her room. Did it crawl in through an open window or door, or was it brought in on someone's clothing? I'd let you guys decide on this one. Speaking of aliens, this next image was taken on a trail camera at around 3:45 a.m. The camera was 1 to 1.5 miles off the road and on private property. In the image, we can see a man in a white top and trousers. He had in his hand a storage box. However, what captures attention and sparks intrigue is the peculiar appearance of the man's face. With many questions looming, theories began to fly out of the community. Some suggested it could simply be a man wearing a hat. Others thought it had to be otherworldly, and some also believed it was an extraterrestrial trying to blend in. Which of these do you think is most likely the situation? Share your thoughts in the comments section. I have much to say, but perhaps in the next episode. Until then, enjoy. Our next clip features a creature that was liberated from its icy confines. What the liberator expected to be a creature from the Ice Age turned out to be something that looks like the offspring of the Night King of Game of Thrones. The creature was blue and had a pair of human arms and legs. Its face resembled a baby, but its body looked like an adult creature. If we know anything about conspiracy theories and alien enthusiasts, it's that things like this make the hairs on their necks stand up. Naturally, once this image was posted online, many theories came from both camps. Some argued that it was a relic from an ancient civilization frozen in time and waiting to be on Earth, while others stated that we are looking at something of cosmic origin preserved in the icy embrace of the Earth. As the debate raged on, the skeptics and logical ones stated that this was nothing more than an elaborate hoax. They stated that this had to be photoshopped. Looking at the image, I get where they're coming from. But what if, just what if this is truly real. Think about it. As much as we'd love to properly investigate this and bring you answers, I guess we can't. Take a look at this extraordinary sight, a cat with two tails. While I know this can occur due to a birth defect, I can't help but feel intrigued. You will also notice that this cat doesn't cast a shadow. It's perplexing considering the amount of light present in the surrounding area. The ground beneath the cat remains devoid of any shadow. I find this to be highly unusual, and it's only added to my growing suspicion that something is not quite right. With all the strange happenings in the world lately, it's hard not to wonder if there may be more to this than meets the eye. I mean, Julia suspects it might be a hoax, but could this be a glitch in the Matrix or some other unexplainable phenomenon at play? Share your thoughts in the comments section. Next, we have this intriguing clip that depicts a man floating in the air in someone's garden. This video has sparked a lot of discussion, with some people suggesting that the man is using strings or other trickery to create the illusion of levitation. However, others believe that the man's levitation is real and not a mere trick. There are reports of people being able to levitate after intense meditation sessions. Some believe that this is due to the ability to harness and control the body's energy, while others attribute it to supernatural or paranormal abilities. He could also just be a skilled illusionist who has found a way to create the illusion of levitation, or he may have indeed achieved a state of levitation through intense meditation or other means. What do you think about this? Do you think humans can levitate through meditation or other means? Share your thoughts in the comments section. When it comes to UFO encounters, you mostly hear accounts of one saucer sighting, but in this intriguing footage captured in 2023, a woman's camera lens captured a fleet of saucers dancing in the celestial expanse.
What the fuck?
Not just one, but 3, possibly 4, or perhaps even more of these enigmatic flying objects gracing the firmament. A speculation abounds, with some quick to dismiss these celestial dancers as mere drones. A closer inspection reveals the unmistakable silhouette of the classic saucer. You guys see it too, right? What do you think? Please tell us in the comments section. While on a United Airlines flight flying over Denver, Colorado, a passenger spotted this object fly past them. His initial thoughts were, oh, a bird. But hey, let's be real, if this was a bird, it'd be one super bird. Whatever this was, it was moving at a speed it would make even the fastest planes look on in envy. Once home, the passenger shared this footage on Reddit, and everyone who saw it was amazed. The speculative buzz surrounding this mysterious object undoubtedly sparked countless debates. Many were quick to point out that it was a saucer. This left them all with more questions than answers. Was it a top-secret government experiment, a cutting-edge aircraft with mind-boggling speed capabilities, or dare we say it, a genuine encounter with visitors from another world? UFO enthusiasts and skeptics alike must have had a field day dissecting every pixel of the footage, scrutinizing for clues, and undoubtedly conjuring up a plethora of conspiracy theories. Hopefully it's what they hope for it to be, and if it is, then you and I are in some serious trouble. A resident was inside their home when they heard some commotion from the neighbor's house. They went to investigate and found this strange scene. They saw a pair of animal-like legs with an upper torso being chased by a dog. The resident quickly started recording what they saw on their mobile phone. As the entity moved behind a trash can, it suddenly vanished. What in the world could this be? Was it an alien creature, a supernatural entity, or something else altogether? While some speculated that it could be the result of good CGI, the residents insist that what they had filmed was real. What do you think? During his cave exploration, the man spotted a peculiar fossil that caught his attention. As he moved closer, he realized that it was a saucer-shaped object stuck in a massive rock. After conducting a thorough examination, the experts confirmed that the fossil was, in fact, a UFO that had been buried for over 5 million years. The discovery of this ancient UFO has sparked a lot of interest and curiosity amongst scientists and the public alike. At least, that's what the individual who sent this clip in said. I've combed online resources and I can't seem to find any credible information. Also, this UFO is rather too small, unless the aliens are tiny little buggers. But what do you guys think? You know those conspiracies of there being another world within our world? The age-old tale of a hollow earth talk? Well, these guys found something that might just prove that theory. On one of their expeditions, these individuals stumbled upon a strange hole in the ice. Out of curiosity, they took out a camera and lowered it into the hole to look inside. What they found was far beyond their own imaginations. Instead of the expected icy expanse, the camera unveiled dried ground beneath the ice. Once this footage hit the internet, many believed this was the evidence they needed to confirm that there is indeed another world existing within our world, aka the Hollow Earth. While some may dismiss it as a quirk of nature or a peculiar ice formation, these individuals let their imaginations run wild with thoughts of subterranean worlds and hidden realms. The Hollow Earth enthusiasts found a glimmer of validation in their unexpected footage. Looking at the footage, I can see why they think that, but do you share in their excitement and enthusiasm? Many don't, especially Julius, my new assistant. Aaron, the believer in all things paranormal, wanted to visit the site, but unfortunately our adventures refused to disclose the exact location and decided to keep it their little secret. Bummer. I almost fell off my chair when I saw this next image. The picture was apparently taken on the mirror of a motorcycle. Brace yourself for it. The rider, while on the road alone, noticed a strange woman's head perched on his shoulder. The peculiar woman had her tongue out, and it was oddly longer than a normal human tongue. Her eyes were pure white, and the skin around her eyes was dark. Keep in mind that when he saw the woman, he was alone on the motorcycle. He hadn't picked up a passenger, and neither had he made a stop that could allow anyone to join him. So who or what on earth was this human sitting behind him? Many in the online community state that it has to be a spirit. Others think the whole thing is a hoax. What do you think? A team of men were busy working on a property when they chanced upon a mysterious hole in the ground. Intrigued, they took a closer look, and to their amazement, they saw a creature that resembled a dragon-like serpent moving in the hole. This creature is known as a worm, which is a mythical creature often depicted as a cave worm dwelling in underground tunnels. Worm is considered to be one of the most dangerous creatures that you can ever come across. It's also believed that a worm guards treasures in the underground caves and tunnels that they inhabit. However, it's not easy to approach them as they are always on high alert, ready to attack anyone who tries to steal their treasure. In summary, if you ever come across a worm, it's best to run and never look back. But that also means that you just found yourself riches unheard of. Run and leave the treasure or fight the creature for it. Apparently a lot, but this is not one of them. It's what we call a leopard seal, not a mystical creature this time. Leopard seals are strong predators known for their sleek, spotted look and great hunting skills. They live in the cold waters around Antarctica and nearby areas where they're top hunters. Their bodies are shaped like torpedoes, and they have powerful jaws with sharp teeth, making them perfect for life in icy seas. They mostly eat fish, squid, and krill, but they also hunt penguins and other seals. Someone sent us this footage claiming it was the Loch Ness Monster, but come on. I didn't need to go to Julius to know this wasn't one. What do you guys think?
Thing's kind of creepy. It's like a person's silhouette up in them clouds.
While overseeing mountain renovations during construction, a man unexpectedly spotted a figure standing atop the peak, seemingly serving as an unforeseen foreman. As he zoomed in, the realization of what he was witnessing dawned upon him. It wasn't just any mountain-dwelling creature, it was the legendary Bigfoot, standing tall and appearing rather grumpy. But why would Bigfoot be grumpy? Now, aware that Bigfoot typically inhabits mountainous regions, it became apparent that the construction crew had unwittingly chosen to give the creature's home a makeover without seeking permission. The creature's stance alone conveyed its clear displeasure with the ongoing construction work. It didn't take Bigfoot enthusiasts too long to figure this out, and when they did, they warned the construction workers, but no one took them seriously. Thankfully, no one got hurt because although grumpy, this Bigfoot had no interest in hurting any humans, just like many of the other Bigfoots we have seen around the world. Back in 2018, the US military found itself with puzzling footage of an object flying over a facility in Iraq. The object was nicknamed UAP by US intelligence. This peculiar object looked like a jellyfish, having a strange head-like feature with what looked like tentacles on it. It hovered across the facility, exhibiting color changes from white to black. Now, the experts chimed in with what their take on this celestial mystery could be. They suggested that the color-changing spectacle could be a response to temperature shifts as the object meanders through different locations. As pleasing as that may have sounded to their ears and that of their higher-ups, many were skeptical about the explanation. Despite the skepticism, many believed the military know more than they're letting on. Many thought it could be something alien, perhaps a scout drone from a reconnaissance mission beyond our solar system. Others thought this was nothing more than a mundane plastic bag or something similar stuck on a camera lens. Don't let me be the one to tell you which it could be. Having seen it with your own eyes, what do you think we're looking at? Share your thoughts with us in the comment section. Tell me what you see. It appears that there is an entity moving in the water, and although it's not visible, there's a clear indication that something quite large is present in the water. Some people believe that this could be a massive sea creature swimming out of the water. However, I'm inclined to think that it's an electrical cable being dragged out of the water, and the water's movement is causing the cable to appear to be moving on its own. What's your opinion on this footage? While on the beach, the individual noticed this pale creature that was crawling on its hands and feet. The creature was waddling along the shoreline with calculated steps, moving in a manner that was both eerie and unsettling. Thankfully, the person who captured the footage was able to find a hiding spot and remain unnoticed by the creature. Despite this, the creature's appearance and behavior have left many people wondering what it could be. Some speculate that it may be a bloodthirsty monster, while others believe it could be a rake. Until more information is available, it's impossible to say for sure what the creature is or what its intentions might be. Personally, I have doubts about its authenticity, but I wouldn't want to be that guy, so let's move on. Antarctica has been the center of many conspiracy theories, ranging from it being the Hollow Earth's center to aliens living there and more. However, no concrete evidence has ever been provided to support or debunk these claims. Recently, this image surfaced, allegedly from Antarctica, showcasing a hidden ancient city concealed beneath the icy walls. The settlement's impressive architecture has grabbed the attention of many, but the question remains, is this true? After conducting some research, we discovered that the image was just a painting and not a real photograph. Cloning has always been a fascinating yet controversial topic. It's a subject many avoid for obvious reasons. This next clip might change their opinion, though. You see it too, right? A factory producing silicon human heads, torsos, limbs, and other body parts. Isn't it amazing how detailed and realistic they look? The movement of the robotic upper torso gives me the heebie-jeebies with its lifelike movements and gestures. While I see what these could be used for, I can't help but wonder if it's safe to even have them. I mean, anyone could be impersonated using these cloned body parts. One second thought, how do we know that's not already happening? After all, we've got some world leaders acting weird and not like themselves every now and then. If these things are truly being used to impersonate others, then perhaps we need to be extra careful. What do you think, though? Do you think that that's a possibility, or am I just being a conspiracy theorist? Please share your thoughts. Someone shared this footage. It was a video of a disc-like craft being chased by a jet. Unfortunately, the exact location where the incident was captured remains unknown. The jet seems to be in hot pursuit of the UFO, which has led some commenters to speculate that the UFO is a government-made and that the jet is accompanying the craft. This would explain why the jet is so close to the UFO. However, others believe that the footage is entirely fake and that it's been doctored to make it appear as if the UFO is being chased by a jet. It's worth noting that there have been numerous instances in the past where people have claimed to have captured footage of UFOs, but these have later been debunked as hoaxes or natural phenomenon. Members of my team think that might be the case here, but then again, nothing's false until it can be proven so, right? Anyway, what are your thoughts? Next, we have another one of those forest captures that is sure to leave you questioning everything you know and have accepted about this world. Have a look. The footage you see on your screen currently was captured by a man who was going through the woods on a beautiful sunny day. He was having one of those days when you can't shake the feeling that something otherworldly is lurking nearby, if you know what I mean. He could never shake off the feeling, and he understood once he got to the location he shot the footage you see on your screen. If you pay close attention, you'll notice that there's a dark figure in the center of the footage. Although it's not very clear, the uploader states that there was a tall ape-like beast or creature going on about its business there. Even though the creature hadn't noticed him and he was at a distance, its presence still filled him with fear. The fear he felt the moment he noticed the creature was, however, nothing compared to what he felt when the creature finally stood on its feet. At that moment, he realized that it was larger than he had already anticipated. At that moment, he felt the creature had noticed him, but it paid no attention and walked further into the woods, disappearing from sight. It's hard to authenticate the footage due to its blurry nature from being overly zoomed in. But what do you make of the footage? Do you think this is real? Share your thoughts with us in the comments section. If you thought that was weird, I have one that might calm your nerves. Enter Bigfoot. The footage you see has been the cause of many debates. The debates have been on its authenticity. If you ask me, however, the creature or being moving in the footage does not appear to be CGI. The only way this could be fake is if it was a human in a bodysuit. I'm no expert, but that doesn't seem to be the case here, unless, of course, you know some 8-foot humans that are willing to play dress-up in the woods. Even then, I doubt the costume would come out this good, but that's just me. What do you think? No, this is no alien. This is actually a species of bird on our planet. If you're expecting me to tell you which, I won't be doing that because it's our bonus clip of the day. This is your opportunity to show us how much you know about the Earth as we search for signs of life out there. Tell us what bird this is and give us one fact about it. The best answer gets a feature and shout out in our next episode. That would be nice, wouldn't it? Start your answer with the word bonus so we can easily identify it. All the best. This next one was sent in by a subscriber of this channel. Just a quick reminder that you too can send in your clip. According to him, he captured it on a trail cam he'd set in the woods near his house. It was meant to capture wildlife, but instead it captured a life that, although wild, didn't fit your typical description of wildlife. There on the screen is a girl moving across the forest floor with the fluidity and grace that's almost otherworldly. But here's the thing, she's not just strolling along like your average hiker. No. She's running on all fours. Her movements so animalistic that at first glance you might mistake it for just another woodland creature. But hold on, it gets even stranger. The girl, dressed in human clothes but sporting an animal mask and a tail, effortlessly leaps into the air as if defying gravity itself. It's a scene that's as mesmerizing as it is baffling. Could it be a person with inhuman abilities, or is this some type of prank stunt being pulled on the Trailcam owner? Delving into the realm of UFO sightings, a notable piece of footage emerged in 2013, which is now going viral due to the various alien conspiracy theories. Passenger aboard an aircraft captured an intriguing formation of lights. These mysterious lights were arranged to create a triangle pattern, which brings to mind nothing but UFOs. Initially, the lights remained stationary, casting a glow across the sky. However, when they eventually started to move, the coordination was so precise that it suggested a single unified craft. The catch? Human-made aircraft don't typically fit the bill for this triangular formation. Left with no conventional explanation, the footage fuels speculation that what was captured in those skies might just be a UFO, an unidentified flying object potentially of extraterrestrial origin. Venturing out to capture the serene beauty of mountain greenery, a man found himself unexpectedly turning his lens towards the unknown. Behind a rocky outcrop, a creature reminiscent of the elusive Bigfoot made a brisk appearance, striding across the open field. The one who shared the footage online claimed it was his personal encounter with a Bigfoot. Critically looking at the footage, however, this Bigfoot looks too human. Its body isn't that big, and its movement is more human than creature. Its muscle makeup and all others make it look like it's nothing more than a human in a costume. Personally, I see no Bigfoot. What about you? A peculiar craft was recently spotted in the sky, hovering among the clouds. The object is disc-shaped and has several rotating circles around its perimeter. As it moves across the sky, the circles keep rotating at a steady pace, giving the impression of a machine in motion. Witnesses describe the object as completely silent and moving with great agility, unlike any aircraft they've ever seen. Some have speculated that it might be a new kind of unidentified flying object, while others believe it could be a secretive military aircraft. The take of my team is that this has to be a hoax. I don't agree with them, though. Until we can prove beyond reasonable doubt that it's false, I don't think we should call it that. What do you think? As we all know, gravity is one of the fundamental forces of nature that plays a crucial role in our daily lives on Earth. It's the force that holds everything together and keeps us grounded. However, I recently stumbled upon some intriguing footage that has left me feeling confused. In the clip, a hand is seen grabbing a strange piece of stick that's shaped like a spiral. The stick is then placed under running water, and to everyone's surprise, it begins to spin as it moved upward while still under the running water. While I'm no science whiz, I doubt this follows the law of physics. Unfortunately, our resident scientist is out of the studio investigating a phenomena we intended to show in our next clip, so he can't be of help. Can any of you help? Is this some kind of optical illusion or trick of the camera? Or is there really a scientific explanation for the phenomenon? Please share your thoughts. A rider cruising through a wooded path was met with a curious sight, a peculiar figure standing on the ground mere inches tall. Clocking in at about a foot in height, this tiny being stood motionless on the road. The rider, struck by an unusual encounter, entertains the notion that it could be a jinn, a concept rooting in Islamic beliefs as mischievous spirits. Yet upon closer inspection, the creature appears to be more plant-like, nestled on the side of the path. The juxtaposition of its small stature against the forest backdrop raises questions about its true nature. Is it a mere botanical oddity, or could it harbor a supernatural and malevolent entity? I guess we'll never know. In a refreshing contrast to the unsettling, our next footage takes us into the mystique of the woods, where a trail camera captured an extraordinary scene. Late at night, an ethereal being, radiant with illumination, gracefully glided through the surroundings. Its shape defied conventional definition, a formless glow moving with an otherworldly elegance. Speculation arose amongst skeptics, suggesting that this radiant entity might be an angel. The way it glowed and moved fueled the imagination, inspiring thoughts of celestial beings gracing the depths of the woods. Is this truly a celestial visitation, a play of light, or perhaps a trick of the lens? Share your thoughts with me. This heartwarming incident captured on camera shows that animals can display compassion towards each other. It's all started when a poor cat fell into a body of water and was struggling to keep its head above. Fortunately, a dog noticed the cat's plight and quickly jumped into the water without any hesitation. The dog then swam toward the cat and allowed it to clamber onto its back. The cat, now standing on the dog's back, was able to climb out of the water safely. The dog's selfless act of kindness towards the helpless cat shows that animals can be incredibly compassionate towards each other. While many found this heartwarming, a number of them were upset and wondered why the person filming did nothing. I can't fault them for thinking so, but it doesn't take away the fact that this was rather heartwarming anyway. In recent times, there have been numerous reports of creatures that have been found and suspected of being alien or extraterrestrial origin. While some humans dream of meeting aliens, one guy's out there actually transforming himself to look like aliens, and one such individual is currently undergoing a project to transform himself into an alien. He's aptly named his endeavor the Black Alien Project, and has undergone multiple surgeries to modify his body to resemble that of an extraterrestrial being. As part of his transformation, the man has tattooed nearly 90% of his body with black ink and has also altered his lips to give them an inhuman appearance. His upper lip, in particular, bears a striking resemblance to that of an alien. Looking at the progress he's made so far, it can be said that his project is looking quite promising. So while he may not hail from the stars above, he's certainly making waves down here on Earth with his unique project. What are your thoughts on his transformation? Deers are curious, yet very careful creatures. It's only natural for them to observe unexpected and unknown objects in their environments from a safe distance. Clearly, that's what the doe in this capture is doing. She's noticed the strange light orb and is looking at it. But what at all could it be? Well, if you've been on this channel for long, then you know that the deer is looking at a spirit orb. They tend to become visible during heightened spiritual or paranormal activity. At least, that's what we believe. Is the capture legit, though? We want to believe it is, but there's something offsetting about its looks and body language. I just can't seem to put a finger on it. Perhaps it's just me. If you notice it too, please do share it in the comments section. It's hard to tell what exactly we are looking at, but there's no denying that whatever that is, it looks like what a kangaroo would look like if it had an interest in photography and is capable of smiling. The footage was clearly captured at night in a very dark environment. This makes it hard to discern what lies beyond the camera's immediate area of focus. Despite the uncertainties associated with the image, it's evident that the creature is humanoid. Could it be a previously undiscovered cryptid, or is that merely a normal kangaroo standing in front of a trail camera? Could the odd nature of the image be the result of bad lighting when the image was taken? Share your thoughts with us in the comments section. Alright, let's dial down the drama a notch. Imagine you're scrolling through some footage and stumble upon a group of people in uniforms gathered around this large metallic sphere that's appeared out of nowhere on the beach. It's definitely an unusual sight, no denying that. The sphere itself is pretty straightforward. It's big, metallic, and has an almost otherworldly sheen to it. But beyond its appearance, there's not much else to go on. No clear explanation of how it got there or what it's doing on the beach. Now, some folks are tossing around the idea that it could be of alien origin, but let's not jump to conclusions just yet. It's just as likely that it's some kind of man-made structure or even a piece of equipment that's been washed ashore. But hey, who knows? Maybe there's more. What would you do if you were out exploring the woods and came across a creature such as this? Yes, I did say creature, and anyone who has watched Lord of the Rings would understand the reference. This creature was reportedly captured roaming a Chinese valley. The creature was found crouched, but only for a short while, as it did its best to get away from those filming it. We're not exactly sure if it knew it was being filmed. One thing that we however know for sure is that it didn't like it one bit. So what is it? Well, no one is really sure. The Chinese thought it was a Jiangxi when they saw it, but the appearance and movement didn't match what they knew about the Jiangxi. For those unfamiliar with the term, also known as the hopping vampire or hopping zombie, is a reanimated corpse from Chinese folklore known for its stiff, hopping movements and its thirst for the life force of the living. This didn't look stiff, and it was too shy to be one. One creature, however, fits this description: Gollum. Anyone who has watched The Lord of the Rings or read the books is familiar with the character that was cursed into its grotesque appearance with its emaciated form, pale skin, luminous eyes, and jagged teeth. Up until this time, we've always thought it to be fictional, so what could be going on here? In this video clip, we witness a late-night ride with the passenger recording the journey as the car passes through a grove of trees illuminated by an overhead light. However, the drive takes an unexpected turn when the car slows down, drawing attention to a peculiar sight. Among the trees, a dark creature moves. Due to the limited visibility and darkness, it's hard to tell exactly what it is. Many in the paranormal community speculated that it might be a skunk ape. Given the fact that we have little to go on about, it's an impossibility. But there are others who think it's nothing more than a black bear and that the footage was recorded by some park rangers. The video offers a fascinating glimpse of the animal's size and movements, but it's essential to remember that sometimes in low light or unusual conditions, things may appear differently than they actually are. So I have said what I believe it to be. What do you personally think? Next, we have a Trailcam capture from the woodlands that's somewhat blurry. In the capture, however, we see the trees and some leaves hanging here and there with little to no grass on the ground. With all the blurriness and no grass, situation is a black object lying lifeless on the ground. Shape-wise, it comes off as an ape-like creature lying on its back. I'm tempted to think ape or Bigfoot, but perhaps it's simply my paranormal and imaginative brain at work. What do you think, though? What do you see when you look at the capture? I'd like to read in the comments. And with that, we end today's episode. Thanks for staying with us. Before you go, are there clips and videos you think we should have featured by now that we haven't? Well, the good news is you can share them with us and we'll post them crediting you. Please send any such footage, including ones you recorded yourself, to us via classifiedcaptures@gmail.com. We'll do our thing and include it in our next episode. We can't wait to receive what you have. Share this video with someone you love, and I'll see you in the next one.